Hi there, Editing Dre from the future here. Just wanted to let you know that any of the audio balancing issues that you hear throughout this are known, and I'm going to fix them going forward. But this was the first sort of get together for this group, so it was kind of a test bed for everything. Thank you for your patience. Enjoy. Okay, hello, welcome everyone to the new table of Dorks In Danger. There's some new players, there's some old players, there's a new DM, it's me. Yeah, we're just gonna get right into it because that's what we're doing here. Anyway, let's switch over to the main screen where we are on the map of the Faerun. And let's get the starting music going. Are you all ready for this wonderful thing to happen?
Yep.
No. Wait, other one, sorry, yes.
Oh, right, okay. Okay. We need... No. Why is this going wrong? What are you doing to me? God damn it.
Do you need me to help you with the starting music?
No, it's not you, it's me. I promise. One of my buttons is set up backwards, and I know why, and I'm mad at myself for it.
I can fill in. Here we go.
Okay,
Hey guys.
here we go.
What?
I mean, you can do it. It's the intro song.
Dorks in Danger!
All right, everyone. Welcome to the city of Neverwinter. The year is 1491 DR, in the midst of autumn in the northern reaches of the Sword Coast. While some of the trees yellow and certain plants recede, the evergreens stay strongly verdant and the weather is often fair. 40 years ago, this region was ravaged by the eruption of Mount Hotenau in 1451. Around 1469, Lord Daggelt Neverember took the opportunity to claim the city and rebuild it to further his enterprising of the Sword Coast. Since then, New Neverwinter has become a cosmopolitan center for trade. Mercantile interests, craftsmen, and magical folk alike have all flocked here. It is widely hailed as one of the many more varied cities of the coast. While much of it has been rebuilt and the splendor of the seaside city shines like a beacon to many, the slightly toppled and dilapidated architecture of large structures near the coast, floating towers associated with legends, and great scars upon the earth underfoot are all a reminder of recent history. And while much has been rebuilt, there is still a continued need for refurbishment on many of the important buildings throughout the city. You all, in one way or another, and for many different reasons, have found yourself in this city. All of you have been working for one dwarven patron, Gundren Rockseeker, an enterprising businessman to some, but to many of you, a friend, performing many different jobs suited to your skill sets. He's hired all of you, worked with you, befriended, helped, and even cared for some of you in your times of great need. Some of you have been guided here by forces beyond the mundane, some by the trials and ghosts of their pasts. Some have been here for many months, and some for just a few weeks. Whatever way you came to be in Neverwinter, on this particular day, a great wheel in the cosmos would set into motion to bring you all along on a wonderful and perhaps very dangerous adventure. Our view goes from Penny across the city, down to the dockside district of Neverwinter, and in through the old, large oak door adorning the front of the establishment that you have all been residing in. You've all been staying in the Driftwood Tavern, a high-class inn, museum, and tavern combo in the dockside district of Neverwinter. The interior of this structure is a myriad mix of old and new, mixing old stained glass windows for chandeliers and refurbished old doors for tables. There are plaques next to Lost my place reading. There are plaques next to paintings, an old fountain in the corner from the old city, a story surely living with each and every item. Gundren has generously been paying for your stay while you are here in his employ, and the proprietor of the establishment, Madame Rosen, treats you as close friends. As the morning sunlight begins to stream in through some of the windows on the second and third floors where you are all staying, the morning commotion begins. It's probably about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning when the general populace gets going, and people will begin to exit their rooms and head down to the large common area for breakfast or to begin their workdays, some earlier, some later. You've all been waiting to hear from Gundren about some big job that he informed you all would take a large group to complete at some point. However, none of you have seen him for the past few days, and every possible lead has come up empty. Not even Madame Rosen will tell you anything, though you do suspect she knows the truth. What's everyone doing this morning?
Sleeping.
Fair. I assume, Bud, you'd be doing your usual 5 a.m.
I'd be up in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's 5 a.m. and
Early riser.
you come downstairs to take care of the tavern cat,
As always.
as always.
That's adorable.
I think I would imagine. I'll let you guys decide who wakes up first. But it's 7 or 8 in the morning. If Bud's the only one that's awake right now, that's okay.
No, Reyka's definitely awake, and she's just walking the streets.
Okay. Are you staying near the tavern in the dock area?
I believe I'm staying in the tavern with everyone else.
You are.
But I just like to get out and move my legs and get the fresh air every morning.
Okay.
Rinn is sleeping off some alcohol from the night before. So
That doesn't surprise me.
She's still asleep.
Yep.
Yeah, Thava is also sleeping in late, as per usual.
Alright, well, around 8 o'clock, then Niah is going to wander downstairs looking for breakfast.
So,
Have a fun addendum.
please,
Oh no.
please.
Could Bud be helping Salachar in the kitchen
Whoa.
this morning?
Absolutely. So, Bud has vanished into the kitchen for a while. Niah, you come downstairs, and there is a general commotion, the usual 30 or 40 different people down here in this large room. And they're all having breakfast, this and that. And one of the main kitchen door swings open, and you hear, "Oh, Bud, thank you for helping me back in here. You don't have to do this."
I've got nothing to do today, Salachar. It's my pleasure. Thank you for letting me help.
Oh, absolutely. You go take a seat. You've done more than enough preparing my chickens and eggs.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to breakfast.
Of course. I'll serve you up. Oh, and you see Salachar peeks out, this pink-skinned tiefling with somewhat balding white hair, tied back, wearing just simple clothes and an apron, peeks out and goes, "Oh, good morning, Miss Niah."
Morning, Salachar.
The usual for you.
Yes, the special.
I keep telling you, they don't have fucking whatever. Fine, just take a bloody seat. I'll be back with you. And the door swings closed with a...
And Niah just takes a nearby seat with a smile.
Bud and Niah, why don't you tell us what we see about yourselves?
You see a very tired human.
I appreciate that is your most defining feature.
just drooping in their seat.
Describe yourself for me. I would, tired.
Fuck.
Wonderful.
Need to remember what I wrote down. So 5'6", pale human, vaguely English features, fairly short hair, slight build, and yeah.
And Bud, what do we see about you?
Right, well, Bud is a lime and green colored dragonborn. He's about the same height as Niah, and he's wearing some very simple medieval clothing, like you'd see in a worker in the fields or whatever. He's got short stubby brown horns, yellow eyes. Yeah.
Wonderful.
But did you sit down near Niah?
Sure.
Okay, Dre.
Yes.
Would Niah recognize Bud?
Yes. Everyone that stays in this inn, especially those of you that have been working for Gundren, are acquainted with each other.
Okay.
Your co-workers, whether you know each other well or not, is more up to you guys, but you know of each other.
So Niah gives a tired wave over to Bud. Up early again, huh?
As always. You look tired. How are you doing?
Tired.
Oh. What happened last night? What were you up to?
Reading. Way too late.
Oh, how late are we talking?
Can't really disclose that.
All right, I guess that's your business. What book were you reading? I haven't read too much books, so like I'm always interested in asking people like what kind of stuff they're reading.
I don't read too much.
He also thanks people when they let him help him, so
Yeah.
there's that.
It was just a book on various creatures.
Oh, creatures, animals are so cool. I grew up with them my whole life.
Yeah, animals, yeah.
About, 5 minutes passes. Salachar comes weaving his way out of the kitchen and sets down a couple plates in front of you two with eggs and bacon and a cup of coffee here and there, cups of water, and then he quickly sets about serving the rest of the room. You guys do notice that he is the only kitchen and waitstaff for this establishment, but he's very good at it. As you begin to eat, the door in the corner of this lavish area sort of swings open, and you see a familiar, tall woman striding out. Long flowing black hair just past shoulder length, fair skin, very angular face structure, which gives her a very stern bit of resting bitch face at all times. She looks to be in her 30s, brilliant blue eyes, and she's wearing a multi-layered black dress that just is absolutely immaculate. She comes walking out and grins as she looks around the room, and then looks at Niah and Bud sitting at the counter and Good morning, you two. As she walks over, just kind of running her nicely painted fingernails along the countertop of the bar.
Niah gives her most charming grin to Madame Rosine and so says, "Good morning, Madam. Any word on Gundren yet?"
She hesitates for a few moments and looks between the two of you and goes, "Well, I was hoping more of your troop would be up. I have
Do you
something...
want us to go get them?
Well, either you can or I can rouse them. I do have some information for all of you."
Bud would probably like gasp
Okay.
in delight.
And she's got this sort of, her expression is sort of, she looks very concerned, but at the same time she's holding her composure.
And so at the same time, Niah's face lights up in delight, and simply says, "Yeah, I'll go get Rinn."
Sure.
Niah grabs her glass of water and goes upstairs.
And as you go up, Rinn, you hear someone approaching your door. I'd assume you'd woken up with the general clatter of things occurring, whether you wanted to or not.
Niah, as you approach the door, you hear loud snoring.
Okay. So I want you quietly into the room.
Roll a stealth check for me.
Leading to
The
that.
first roll of the game.
Congratulations.
22.
That. All right, cool.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
no,
don't I get a...
no, you do not. You're asleep. Your passive perception. You use your passive perception when you're asleep. I'm sorry. Sorry, Rinn. You
I'm so perceptive.
very, very quietly open the door and slowly slide in without even a creak from the old door hinges.
Okay. I prowl over to Ren's sleeping form
Mm-hmm.
and kind of watch her for a moment to see if she's faking it or she's awake.
She's laying in her bed, which has like a bunch of straw in it, which kind of explains why she's always got straw in her hair when she wakes up in the morning. And she's like starfishing on a tiny twin-sized bed, just completely splayed out.
Perfect. Niah slowly upturns the glass of water over Ren's face.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. All right.
Time to put that accent.
Rinn, you feel
Yes.
a surprisingly wet awakening as you are doused in water.
Rinn jolts up, and she's just absolutely livid, and she's just wakes up. She's like, "Oh, fuck you! What is this for? God damn it!"
Niah just has the most shit-eating grin on her face and just says, "Good morning."
Rinn charges her with her horns.
Oh god.
Reflex? Like what the? I wanted to get out of the way, but
Right. It's not really a save, it's an attack, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
fair.
Roll an attack against Niah's
Alright.
against Niah's AC.
All right. 12.
Niah, what's her AC?
14.
Okay. As Rinn gets up and goes to charge against you, you just kind of slide out of the way, and she just kind of barely grazes by your front.
I see you're awake. I'll see you downstairs. And then Niah just slips out the door.
Bud just like creeps around the corner right before that happens, and he's like, "What's going on here?" Oh, and then like you rush past him.
Rinn sticks her water-covered head, which is usually her hair is really poofy. It's totally deflated, and she yells down the hallway, "You won't fucking get away with it!"
Niah just cackling her way down the stairs.
Madame Rosen just holding the bridge of her nose like, okay.
Morning, Randy. You sweating your sleep or something?
Fucker just dumped some water on me head.
My.
She's
Well,
like,
I guess you're awake now.
"Down and awake." Jesus.
Is that more hay for me?
She
But takes one of the drops of hay like off of like Rinn's shoulder or something and sticks it in his mouth without asking.
Rinn just like stares at him and waits for him to walk away, and then walks down the stairs and goes to breakfast.
Salachar comes sliding out like the moment you sit down and sets down a plate of steaming hot eggs and bacon and a cup of coffee. And he just gives you a knowing grin and goes back in the kitchen while Madame Rosen is just drumming her fingernails on the counter like, "Good morning."
Oh, is she talking to me?
Yeah, she's just looking right at you like,
Oh,
"Good morning."
I'm dripping all over the everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at her and I say, "Oh, don't look at me. Look at Niah. It's not my fault."
Oh, I know well the sort of antics you get up to, and specifically her. I've had to deal with them for 6 months. All right. Well,
Bud approaches from behind with a towel in hand, like after, following Rinn. He's like, "Hey, Rinn, I went and got one of your towels in your room. You should probably dry your hair off."
You went in my room?
I was already in your room.
He peeked up the corner of your room as Niah came running out.
Oh, whoops.
You just left without drying off your hair, so I thought I'd bring this down for you.
Well, at least there's one good person in the whole tavern. Thank you, bud.
Madame Rosenne sort of
Okay.
chuckles and
Naya's chortling under her breath at that.
Well, thank you, Rinn. That's really nice of you to say.
the three of you would see at this point, Madame Rosenne sort of reaches into a fold of her dress along the front and pulls out a wand. And she kind of looks up toward the rest of the stairs and thinks for a moment and casts a spell, just with a quick little flick. And Synas and Thava, you both in quick succession hear a message in your heads saying, "If you could, please just come downstairs. I need to talk to you about your employer."
Honestly, at all the commotion, Synas probably would have already been coming down the stairs.
So you hear this as you're coming down.
as he comes into view.
Yep.
To which he gives a small wave and then kind of looks back up the stairs and then back to her. I think you've got a bit of a leak in the establishment, by the way.
No, I think I found the source, actually. And as she gestures to Rinn. And Synas, why don't you describe yourself for us?
Synas is a rather tall, over 6 feet tall, leonin with very pale, almost snow white fur, minus some patches of black fur along his chest, his shoulders, his forearms. He's got a very long, flowing black mane. It is very unkempt, just like a lot of the fur on him on closer examination. And he is got kind of like a half robe on from the waist down. It's a robe, but it is just slung over one shoulder to cover most of his torso.
Beautiful. You see Madame Rosenne sort of grin and gesture for you to sort of come over, and looks at Rinn. And actually, Rinn, why don't you describe yourself? I think I glazed over you because I'm a ditz.
Yeah, Rinn is a tall-ish for a satyr. Just a typical looking satyr. I actually have a little description. Covered in freckles, fiery red hair, really, really tangly and always messy and curly. And she's usually always smiling, except for this morning because she got some water dumped on her fucking head. And she's just very bubbly.
Wonderful.
Wears usually wears any color of red, orange, yellow.
Wonderful.
Synas will go ahead and take the offered seat, by the way, and with a slight bow of the head, give a thank you in Dwarvish.
Madame Rosenne does not speak Dwarvish, but she nods in return.
That's okay.
The pink tiefling comes slinking out of the kitchen with a plate of food and looks at you and then up at you because he's fairly short, and even sitting, you're taller than him, and goes, "Oh, good morning, good morning. Ooh, would you like something for breakfast?"
You can surprise me.
Well, you're gonna get the same bloody thing that Niah gets every time she asks for me fucking special, then. It's eggs and bacon, that's what we serve for breakfast. This is not some bleeding special restaurant. As he, like, goes back into the
Then
kitchen.
It won't be much of a surprise, will it?
And he comes back out a few moments later with a plate of eggs and bacon and water or coffee, which he sets down both and just walks away. He's very, very preoccupied.
I will shout a thank you again in Dwarvish after him.
I don't know the bloody language that you people be speaking, but I'm gonna assume you're being grateful. As he vanishes back into the kitchen. Thava, you get a message in your head of Madame Rosen beckoning you to downstairs. What do you do?
Well, she's she's not too great with early mornings, and this is technically an early morning for her. So she's just gonna kind of groan and like slowly get herself out of bed. Downstairs, you guys will just hear the creaking of floorboards as she, meanders her way down the stairs and into the tavern proper. And she says, "What in the nine hells are we doing up so early?"
As you come in, would you please describe yourself?
Thava is a pretty tall and muscular dragonborn. She stands about 6'6". She's got kind of a muddy red scale coloration. She's got those like dragonborn dreads or whatever you want to call them, set of horns, and she's got some very like fiery kind of piercing eyes, kind of like a really big contrast to Bud's more like what I assume is more softer appearance. She meanders into the tavern proper and kind of like slowly makes her way over to her usual spot in one of the corners and kind of just plops herself down in a chair, looking kind of like groggy and exhausted.
The pink-skinned tiefling comes jogging out. Light old man jog, kind of hip-hopping his way. He comes around to you and goes, "Oh, good morning. Breakfast for you." He seems outwardly intimidated.
Oh, is he saying that to
Yep,
Thava?
he's coming right up to you and just...
Oh, just give me some water.
He kind of scoots away and comes back with a glass and pours some water for you and does not interact further and just zips back into the kitchen.
Oh no.
Madame Rosen sort of grins at all of you and goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's going to cast another spell. And Reyka, in your head, you're going to hear, Reyka dear, could you come back to the tavern? I need to speak with every one of you. It's about Gundren.
I look around, wondering where the voice was for a moment until I realize who it is, and then I start moseying back towards the tavern.
Okay. And Madame Rosen tucks her wand back into her dress, though you don't see any pockets on her dress. It just kind of vanishes into the layers. And she waits a while, just letting you all have your breakfast. And Reyka, you eventually make your way back, and as you enter the tavern, would you please describe yourself for us?
Reyka is a tiefling lass, mid-20s, about 5'3" without the horns. She's got some horns that twist. She's got a grayish purple skin with like dark blue, purpley hair. She's got some hoofers and a long tail. And she's just kind of always got kind of a neutral expression on her face as she walks in the door.
Wonderful. And Madame Rosen sort of gives you a dainty wave and kind of beckons you over. And as you're all gathered, she looks between each of you and sort of gets a more stern expression and goes, once you're all finished with your meals, please come to my office. I have to speak with all of you. And she taps one knuckle on the counter and turns to head to the large door on the right corner of the bar where her office is and vanishes inside of it.
I turn to look at Bud and I say, she sounded serious. Do you think it's about Gundren?
Bud kind of like shrugs his shoulders. He looks a bit confused too, because he's not used to seeing Madame Rosen like that. He's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I think we should find out soon. Seems really serious.
The pink tiefling comes popping out of the door again and goes, "Oh, Miss Reyka, breakfast for you? Anything? Coffee, water? Anything you want?"
Oh, just some eggs would be fine with me.
Right. And vanishes in the door again. And comes immediately back out with a plate of eggs, which he sets on the counter for you. And then
Thank you very much.
right through the door again. And after, however long you feel it would take you to have breakfast, you can all meander to the door in the back right corner there, marked with Madam M, or Madam R.
Thava makes pretty short work of it, considering that she just got a glass of water, so she just downs that and then just meanders her way over.
Toss the
Still
whole thing in.
Yeah, still looking kind of like, irritated that she's awake right now.
Yeah, at the same time, Niah also starts shoveling in her food, and then head over to the office as well.
One by one, you all sort of filter into this very beautiful office. It is adorned with every little knickknack that you could imagine. It's about a 20 feet by 25 feet room. It's very large.
Oh.
Plenty of room for standing. You don't have to sit, shoulder to shoulder with each other. The walls are decorated with paintings and statuettes. Some of them hanging a bit askance and organized, but it's very organized chaos as you come in. And she sits down in her high back chair in front of a large mahogany table, and just kind of gestures for you to the last person in to close the door behind them. She lets out a sigh and goes, "Right. You're all Gundren's folks, yes? All here, present? Good." She kind of sits there for a moment, opens a drawer on her desk and pulls out a sealed envelope. Goes, "I know I have been unbecoming of information towards several of you," and she looks directly at Niah. "And I apologize for that, but I do know where Gundren has gone off to. And yes, I did know that he was going to vanish without saying a thing to any of you. He said it was all the better to keep you safe. As such, he has asked me to inform you all of your next job and to give you this letter, which she will set down on the table. And let me see if I can make this work correctly. So let's flip over to this map real quick. For reference, this is the map of Neverwinter. You guys are all right here in the dock district.
Mm-hmm.
That large building there is the tavern in question. Yes. Let's see if Roll20 will let me make this handout. Let's fucking go. Where did it go? That is the operative question. No, like really, where did this thing go? I'm still learning how to do this too, so bear with me.
No problem, Dre. You're good.
Oh, there it is. All players. Let me save. Okay. I'm not sure if anything has popped up to you, but if you look in the handouts section in Roll20.
I see it.
Yep. And she just
Oh, fancy.
she offers
Where?
if you go to on the right side, there should be several tabs in Roll20.
Yeah.
If you go to your journal, which is the third tab, and then under handouts, you should see a note from Gundren.
Oh.
Cool, I didn't know about
Well,
this.
look at that,
So,
Mr. Fancy over here.
Should already be.
whoever would snatch it up first, you can read it out loud if you like.
That's real technological, you Jrain.
Trying.
Wow, Gundren's got a lot of typos in here.
Weird that he underlined them. Probably was going to come back to them. So, it reads out, my dear compatriots, as you're all undoubtedly aware, I've gone missing. Don't be alarmed, as this is all part of the plan, as it was for your own safety. I apologize in advance, and tell Niah that I'm sorry if I set her into a panic. I know how she can get. When you read this, I should already be in the town of Fandalen, getting everything prepared for your arrival. Sildar is keeping me safe, so you don't need to worry or pernickety heads over me. The time has come to include you on this secret bit of work my brothers and I have been preparing for, and I will sincerely need your group's varied set of skills to make this all work. While I can't tell you as much as I would like just here, I just know that this will be the biggest job yet, and with a payout that will make us all rich for decades to come. Your friend and patron, Gundren Rockseeker. And Madame Rosenne sort of waits for you guys to read through it. Just sits there quietly.
Reyka reaches out and just touches the corner of the paper.
After a few more moments, she'll sort of, reading all your faces, continue speaking. He and an armed escort, a knight by the name of Sildar Hallwinter, left for the town of Fandalen in secret on horseback but a few nights ago. A cart of supplies is being assembled, and its destination is Bath and Provisions in the town which is mentioned. That is, I believe, some few days' travel southeast of here, if I'm remembering right. He did say that each of you would be paid 10 gold a head to escort this cart there safely. And then he told me he would seek you all out once you arrived, and that he would have something very important for you all to work on, but that's sincerely and truly all I know. It has pained me to keep this in secret from you.
Did you say 10 gold each before we leave?
No, when you arrive.
Mm.
He had stated that the owner of Bath and Provisions will pay you. This is provisions for, I imagine, the city, but I'm not privy to what he's dealing in. Friends as we are.
Alright, when do we leave?
Well, I believe the cart will be ready by tomorrow morning, so you have one more night in town here. I would suggest you prepare yourselves. The journey to Fandalen is not necessarily without treachery. Reyka and Synas, you would both know, and Bud, I suppose, would also know, that the roads that lead out that direction do get a little dicey from time to time, as they are not necessarily the most great centers for civilization currently. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but that's all I know.
Well, it sounds pretty exciting if you ask me. This is like my big break to help my mom and pa back at home.
He did say that
But
you should.
tail is wagging.
He did
a
say that you
lot.
should pack your things. It's not going to be a short journey.
I'll do just that.
It's Fandelver then.
Fandalen, which is in the region of Fandelver.
That's close to home too for me. This is exciting.
Alright. And Niah looks right at Madams. You have no idea what Gundren and his brothers are up to.
No. He wouldn't tell me any more than I've just told you. Just as he had said, for safety purposes. He's not acted this way, per se, about any of his work around me, and I've known him for going on a decade and a half now. So,
Sounds
You've known him for
strange.
so long. You've known him for a long time, though. How long have you been doing that, or working on this?
I mean, he's always had little side ventures. This might be the one that he sounds like he's most dedicated to. And the fact that he would just vanish and bring a knight with him as a personal escort tells me that it is clearly very serious business.
Must be a big deal if all three brothers are working together.
Well, she sort of crosses one leg over the other. As I said, in the morning, the southern gate. Your provisions will be prepared and ready to go. I suggest you all clean up any last things you need to do here and prepare for the journey.
At that point,
I
Niah
know
nods
is
her head.
even if it's dangerous, as long as we stick together, he like puts his arms out like to the two people that are sitting to his left and right. We'll be safe and sound.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Who is to your left and right?
Just
Yeah, who
looks
is to your
at
left and
you.
right in this
To your left
case?
and right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that for the
Um,
DM to decide?
No, that's for you. How are you guys standing in this room? Who's
All right, I'll be to his right.
Okay.
I'll
I
be
am
to his left.
definite. Oh god damn it.
And Niah just turns to him with just the most deadpan. I can't believe you said that look.
And Reyka does absolutely nothing. Does not react.
All right. Well, she just sort of nods and waves a bit and goes, "Now, if you don't mind, I do have some work to do. Please." Gestures through the door.
Niah nods her head and just goes right out the door. Back to her room to pack up.
Thanks, Madam Rosen. I hope you have a nice day.
You as well, my dear. She just has this sort of strained smile.
All right, take care now.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all come back now here.
Y'all come back now.
Yeah, that's it. She should have said that, rolling her eyes.
Okay, so at this point, for sort of the sake of brevity, is what sort of business would you guys like to take care of on your last evening here in the great city of Neverwinter?
Well, Reyka is always in a state of readiness, pretty much, so she doesn't have a whole lot to pack up. So I think what she's going to do is actually go outside the walls and see if she can catch a few rabbits for the journey.
Sure. Why don't you make a survival check for me?
Ooh, I get to do a thing. So what do I do?
So
Yeah.
roll a d20, and then on your character sheet where it says survival, under the ability score or under
Oh, there it is.
the
Okay.
the skills, just whatever the number is there, add that to your d20 roll.
11 plus 4, 15.
Okay. So you trek your way out of the city. Any direction will do. The city is surrounded by quite verdant forest, and you spend, the better part of the morning and into the early afternoon hunting down some rabbits, and you catch about 3 of them.
Nice.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
Yeah, so Niah is going to pack up her room, get everything squared away. I would like to purchase a shield,
Sure, you can do that. Deduct that from your...
and would then spend after doing so, would wait to meet up with the others back in the common area. After that, would spend time studying the area we're going.
None of you have a map, per se.
I was just gonna say, Rinn wants to see if she can find
Okay.
a map.
Sure. So, Rinn, you set out into town looking for maps of the area, a cartographer perhaps. It's a big city. You suspect that probably in the mercantile areas there's maybe someone who has a map. Maybe you find your way toward the general store. You spend, the better part of the first part of your day wandering through, and you find a general store that will sell you maps of the area. As you come into one sort of generic-looking shop, the human male behind the counter just sort of turns around and goes, welcome to the general store. What can I do for you?
Hi, I'm looking for a map of a part of the world called. Is it Pandelver or what is it?
Fandelver.
Fandelver.
Oh,
Called Fandelver.
right. Fandelver. Let's see. And he turns, it kind of goes under the counter and starts pulling out like 10, 15 different scroll holders and starts opening them up one by one and goes, yeah, this will probably do. And he places in front of you this map. Which is sort of the general area of Phandelver south of Mount Hote now, and it has Phandalin marked on the map. You can see Neverwinter. And he goes, that's about as good as I've got. I'll sell that to you for, say, a gold piece.
Gold piece. Seems a little steep. What if I gave you 80 silver?
Ma'am, I'm a general store. I'm not much in the ways of bargaining. You can enjoy my prices, or you can go find a different store.
You can buy or die.
Wow, this guy is like, oh, you.
I just work here. I just am selling things for the price that I'm told to sell things for.
That sounds like a no.
Give me a persuasion check.
All right. Mother. Oh, ooh. 25.
Damn.
Oh wow.
90 silver is my final offer.
I'll take it.
God
And-
damn.
Hey, at least he budged.
Yeah.
Take
And
10 silver. congrats.
You acquire a map of the area of Phandelver.
Oh wait a second. Sorry. Is it?
Nine
Is it how much
silver.
How much silver? Yeah, I was gonna say.
10
9
silver.
Or
is
sorry,
gold.
sorry, yeah,
Okay, I was making
eight
sure.
silver,
I was like-
8.5.
I was like, holy fuck, 90 silver.
I hear
Oh.
your offer of
Yeah.
1 gold. I offer you 9
90,
gold.
you 9 gold. Yeah, sorry, mathematics
That was
mix
in,
up.
In hundreds.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
so
tens.
sorry.
I also
Yeah,
often
freaking
forget
two
things
for
are
a
in
second. I was
tens.
like, huh, what?
So it's a Desi system, gotcha.
Yeah. And we're not using Electrum. Just don't even think about it.
Okay.
I
Just-
Now
thought
I'm
about
thinking
it.
about it.
Is there copper?
There's copper, silver, gold.
Knowledge Electrum. We do not speak of Electrum. Both.
10 coppers a silver, 10 silvers a gold, 10 golds a platinum. All right, so Rinn acquires a map of the area. Is anyone else doing anything or wants
Yeah,
to do
at this point-
anything?
At this point, Niah is waiting back in the main area looking to catch up with people. Or I guess, actually, at this point, we know we're meeting tomorrow to leave. I'm going to go ahead and go to the library and start looking at anything I can about the area.
Sure, okay. Let me look up the name of that library real quick. You think I would have prepared that given that you know, go there.
Mhm.
So you find your way sort of to the southern edge of Neverwinter to a building known as the House of Knowledge,
Mhm.
which is a library and temple that was built to Ogma, the binder of what is known. And is still kind of under renovation, but there are several librarians and different individuals milling about in the area that is renovated for general use. And a sort of scrawny, young elven clerk kind of greets you at the main door and says, "Good morning. What can we do for you?"
I'm heading off to a journey to the south soon. I was hoping to find anything you had on the region of, is it, okay, Phandelver?
Phandelver. The city of Phandalin, the region of Phandelver.
Phandelver, and particularly Phandelver.
Oh, well, alright. Let's go have a look. And he sort of leads you off into a different area where the books are not necessarily arranged in bookcases anymore, or at the moment it's kind of a lot of piles that are all labeled, but like, they're still working on fixing up everything. It's a very large building. And he starts...
Actually, does the elf recognize me?
Yeah, this one probably would.
Okay.
which is sort of while picking through a few papers and a couple books go. So are you traveling? You've been here. You've been coming here a lot. What's?
Yeah, my work will be taking me out south soon.
Right. Dangerous, usually.
Is it?
Well, that area is sort of not civilized, per se, anymore.
Anymore?
Well, I've heard that since the eruption, that sort of wiped out everything. The old town was lost. They've been rebuilding it, I think. Oh, here. And he pulls out a sort of local history book and kind of thumbs through it a little bit and points you to a couple pages. And he goes, yeah, so there's sort of, it's an ancient city that was wiped out by the volcanic eruption that happened from Mount Hotenau, and people have been, in the area doing prospecting and mining because, well, it's the mountains are rich, so people are trying to get rich.
Oh, Niah's nodding her head.
It's not really a big town right now, and as far as anyone knows, it's, kind of frontier-y. There's not like a super centralized government. I think there's an appointed official, but it's kind of small towny, if you like that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean,
but someone had to have moved in after the eruption.
Well, yeah, there's people who live there now, and it's like a little mining and farming town now. It used to be a big trade center before the whole thing, exploded. The whole mountain, and I mean, before that, like, legends say that there was some mine out there that had some weird forge in it, I guess. I'm just trying to paraphrase for you. It's sort of elves and dwarves were in the area, and they sort of had a pact, the Pact of Fandelver is what it says right here. And they made, like, magic stuff, I guess. It was, like, a really prosperous place. This was, like, 400 years ago, and it just kind of got wiped off the map, probably by, one of the 15 different things that have happened in the last 100 or so years, right?
Right.
Like the spell plague that happened, like, 60 years ago that killed most, like, everyone. That was crazy. Yeah, no, it's, I bet it's...
Niah's trying not to react during all this.
I bet it's like, treasure hunters and prospectors and those kinds that go down there. So, whatever your work's doing for you, stay safe. Yeah. And just kind of closes the book back up and grins at you. He's like, is that, and he holds the book against his chest, like, hugging it a little bit. It's like, is that, everything you need? Does that answer your question? Do we need to look for more?
I would be interested to know more about this old mine.
Yeah, and he flips the book back open, and goes through a few different things, and basically reveals to you that the mine used to be used by a combination of elves and dwarves to produce magical equipment and enchant things. Basically, it was a very prosperous sort of venture, but it was lost quite a long time ago, and treasure seekers have been looking for it for hundreds of years.
Interesting.
And no one really knows where it is, so that's part of the fun, I guess, right?
And this pact you mentioned.
Yeah.
Between elves and dwarves.
Yeah, the Pact of Fandelver. Let me flip back to that page. This thing should really be bookmarked. Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, jeez, okay, here. More than 500 years ago, a clan of dwarves and... Oh, jeez, I misread. It's gnomes. Dwarves and gnomes made an agreement known as the Fandelver Pact, and they shared a wondrous dangerous cavern known as the Wave Echo Cave.
The what cave?
The Wave Echo Cave. And it's I guess it was really wealthy and like had magic and stuff in it. And it says that human spellcasters allied themselves with this group so that they could create a thing called the Forge of Spells? Weird. I get, magic items, right? Weird.
Right.
Yeah. And then it's kind of vague on like how everyone got killed, but the best that people are guessing is that it was like a group of orcs that kind of stormed through. That happened a lot back then. Yeah, and they kind of wiped the town out, and it's been sort of a half ghost town, half rebuild town for the last couple hundred years.
And all that time, the Forge of Spells have been lost, huh?
Yeah, no one has any idea where it is.
Interesting.
Sounds like it was kept pretty secret, like in the first place. So.
Does your book there mention which families and clans were involved in the original pact?
No. It just seems like a lot of different groups of them, and he like flips through and is like speed reading as best he can. And it's like, yeah, no, there's not like names. It's just like dwarves and gnomes and humans and like wizards or whatever. But like, no one has any names of families or anything. It's just, yeah, there's not a whole ton of good information. Is that what you're going there to look for?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
it was an interesting thing to learn about.
Yeah, it's just kind of the main notable thing under that section in this book.
What threats are native out there these days?
Oh, I'd have to go look at the kind of monster compendium for that. Oh boy, okay, hold on. And he puts the book back and goes looking in like a totally different part of this. And looking around, this is like a half dilapidated library temple.
God,
With like the ceiling has holes in it still. It's like, 70-foot tall ceiling. It's beautiful. It probably was one of the most beautiful buildings in the city at one point in time.
I could hear you salivating over there, Jay.
Leave me alone, my mouth's wet. And he kind of goes and finds another couple books and is thumbing through them and goes, I mean, the usual threats like bears, goblins, orcs probably. It's kind of a mix of things. Like when Mount Hotenau went off, it kind of messed with everything, so weird stuff happens all the time. And that's kind of why the guards and, adventurers exist, to take care of weird stuff. So yeah, I mean, just like be ready for everything, I guess. But like, probably just weird creatures. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, do you need anything else?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Stay safe. And thanks for coming to the House of Knowledge. And he gives you like this face of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still learning how to be a clerk. Just kind of smiles and holds the book and just kind of waits for you to leave awkwardly.
Right, Niah smiles and waves and leaves, heading back to the end.
And armed with that knowledge, is there anything else anyone would like to do? I am going to presume that you share that knowledge with everyone when you get back.
Yes. Yes.
I hope you're taking notes.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I was like, I don't need to take notes. And then, okay,
for
I'll
reference,
Oh, shit.
for reference, Fandelver, Fandalen,
Yeah, that's a lot.
Wave Echo Cave.
He just threw a bunch of nerd shit at you.
Here's some.
really.
I mean, you talked with a random nerdy kid at the library, so
Yup.
you got what you got.
Yup.
The only thing I was gonna ask to do, which is kind of a similar vein. Rather than going to a library and looking up local history, I was gonna head towards like the south gate and see if I can find like a guard or something who might know of any recent events on the roads between here to Phandelver.
Sure.
Like if there's been any animal attacks or bandits or anything like that that somebody has reported.
Yeah, sure. So you head out to the southern gate, one of the massive gates that cordon off the city from the rest of the world, and there's quite a number of guards there, and you approach one. Hard to tell what they are. They stand pretty tall, full face helmet, completely covered, kind of plate armor, and goes, "Yeah, what can I do for you?"
Yes. Well, me and some of my companions will be heading to Phandelver tomorrow. I was wondering if you or any of the patrols had heard anything of notable report between here and Phandelver, any attacks, bandits, anything we should know of.
Yeah, I think I was hearing a couple of people talking about, well, there's been bandits. It's gotten a little better since, that group of giants, kind of stationed a little outpost, near the Tribor Trail. I've heard there's goblin attacks in the area, some animals. Most of the time, if you stick to the high road, you're pretty okay. But if you're heading more into the wilds over there, Phandelver, you're liable to run into, animal attacks or probably goblins. It's mainly all we've heard.
That's about what I expected. Keep an eye out for practically anything, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild over there.
Noted. I'll have to pass that along. Thank you.
Anytime. And he kind of just goes back to attention.
And I'll head back to the tavern then.
Anyone else?
I think Thava is going to go and make sure that all of her supplies are looking good in her chest. And then she's going to also take a look and see if she can find any nice fresh rations.
Sure. Do you want to head to like general store or?
Where do they sell meat?
So there is a market, and Salachar could point you there, as he's the one that usually runs market shopping for the Driftwood Tavern.
Oh, okay.
And he points you sort of to one of the districts on the literal opposite side of Neverwinter, more in sort of this area over here. And just goes, "Oh, they've got the best fresh meat over there. It's a long walk, but it's worth it, I think, for, some of the best."
I apologize, but I'm actually being pulled aside real quick, so if there's anyone else who wants to do something, go ahead and do it, and I'll be right back.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
I will. Is there a tobacconist?
A tobacconist. I
Yeah.
think the general store probably has plenty, but if you're looking for a specifically tobacco-based store, you could probably cruise through the Blue Lake District up in the northern area here. There might be a
Do you
couple
think
shops.
Salachar would know?
You have not noticed Salachar to be a smoker, really. Like, he's
Okay.
dabbled,
This
but
kid to vape.
looking for a vape shop.
Well, I guess I would explore in that area,
Sure.
see if I can find something.
With enough
Specialty.
with enough
place.
time, you do eventually find sort of a little shop with just a sign that has a little pipe with little puffs of smoke coming out of it, above it.
Right.
Mm,
I'm going to go in.
Popping in, you see a large selection of everything from different pipes of all sorts of make, from cheap to what you would imagine are way too expensive. And quite the selection of tobacco. It smells very woody and herbal in here. And sitting at this small counter at the front is this halfling woman, sort of auburn hair, green cloak obscuring most of her form. She goes, "Oh, good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name?
My name is Quendela. What's yours?"
Hey, Quindala. My name's Bud. It's nice to meet you.
"It's nice to meet you. Is there something I can get for you?"
Yeah, I was smoking with a buddy of mine not too long ago, and he had this blend that was like a black Cavendish and had these like vanilla and chocolate like a what do you call them? What are they called? Like undertones, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it had like these undertones, and it was like really sweet. And I was wondering like if you had any of that in the store.
Yeah. Sure. Let me go take a look here. And she sort of leads you over to kind of this wall display of many, many, many different things. And all sorts of little packs of tobacco. She kind of picks a couple up and looks at them and sniffs at one of them and goes, yeah, this'll probably do for you. Yeah. Smells about
Can
right.
I take a whiff of that?
Yeah, sure, here. Yeah, go ahead. Puts the other one back on the shelf.
I'll sniff it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one right there. I remember that one.
Okay, perfect.
Can I get like half a pound of that?
Sure, yeah, that's...
Jesus.
You're stocking up,
Damn,
huh?
what the fuck?
Boy, all right, half a pound. Cool.
I grew up smoking pipes on the farm with my pa, and I'm heading back in that direction. So this is like one of my favorite blends that I've come across. So I'd really love for him to try this so we can smoke it together.
She looks up at you and just kind of gives you this look like, I think you're probably old enough to be buying this. Yeah, sure, whatever. And she goes back to the counter, and I'm gonna look for something in the player's handbook real quick.
Yes, the legal age.
Yeah, the legal age of Dragonborn. I do always imagine a strict bartender having like a massive compendium book that is filled with all the legal drinking ages of the different species.
Is that really a problem with Dragonborn?
I
Fire and
mean,
everything? You
not
guys are
all of them
always
do
poison.
fire. Where the heck? What page? Why am I lost in this book right there? We
He's
go.
getting
Nope,
half a pound because that'll
that's
take you
weapons.
a
Where is
while
the?
to get through.
Yeah.
That one will actually last, but come on.
Okay, here we go. Is tobacco in this
I think
list?
he'd save it.
It's not. Let's go with. Half a pound of that. That's, pretty good stuff. Yeah. I'll do. What do you say to like 7 silver?
All right, sounds good.
Great. Cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, it's all yours. Do you need a pipe to go with it, or?
Oh no, I already got one. I've had it for many years, but thanks for checking.
Sure, okay, just double checking. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye.
Take care.
Uh-huh.
All right, that would be what? That'd be 14 gold, and then I would have 93 silver left.
It's 3 silver. 10, it's in 10s.
Oh, it's in tens. Okay. Right, cool. And I suppose after that he would like go on back to the I don't think he'd do much else for the day.
Okay.
So I'm done.
Thava?
All right, yeah.
Meat
She's
market.
looking for some meat.
Yep.
She's looking for some meat.
Salachar directs you to the area which used to be known as the Scar, which has now become sort of a market area on the east side of town. And it is sort of a not quite open air market, but there is quite a lot of food and trade being done here. It does not take you long. You can basically follow your nose to the meat, honestly. And there's a sort of portly human butcher leaning against his stall and goes, "You're ironing up my meat pretty severely there or something. What can I do for you?"
Oh my god, what the fuck?
You might have walked into the wrong
he must be
establishment.
from
Yeah, that's
around
the
where I am
wrong
from.
place. I don't know. I think it. Okay. Yes. Greetings. I'm looking for can find cuts of beef.
Yeah, I can do beef for you. Yeah, kind of turns around and heaves up this like flank of cow and just kind of goes, "Do you want like how much you want?" He's like holding a butcher knife in one hand.
Oh Jesus. Okay, Trey, this is a dumb question, but what seems like a reasonable amount for
A reasonable
like a
amount?
6'6" dragon?
How much? How long are you trying to buy for?
I mean, okay. I want to reason that she does have rations. It's probably like dried meats and stuff like that, like back at her at the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is more for like just something to at least now I'm indecisive.
Do you want like a week's worth?
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's say a week's worth.
All right,
Okay.
let's go with, probably you could do like a solid 5 pounds of meat, 4 or 5.
Sure, why not? Yeah,
Sure.
let's just go with that.
So he kind of eye measures it out and hacks off a few chunks for you, slices up a few cuts. You're not sure, really, looking at this guy, like, really, this is the guy Salachar gets stuff from? Like, this is where he told you to come? Like, all right, sure.
You're the guy
Leads in with a meat pun. Yeah.
a little weird, a little suspicious.
And he goes about kind of wrapping it up for you and just tying it off with some paper, and he's kind of very nonplussed about his job overall. And plops down this big, paper wrapped thing of meat, and without question just kind of looks at you and goes, "Yeah, okay, that'll be, let's see, 25 silver."
Right, do you mean 2 silver and 5 copper?
No, I mean 2.5 gold.
Oh.
Got him.
Well, the price you have to pay for protein, so.
Well, I do have some of the best meat, so.
Oh, that was out of character, sure, but okay. Wow. Okay, well, I mean, to kind of snort a bit at that and then give the guy his money.
Pleasure doing business with you.
As she walks away, she's just kind of like holding it in her hand, and she's just like taking a deep sniff of it, like.
You can very much smell. I mean, blood. It's meat. It's fresh.
It's meat. Wonderful.
You have acquired 5 pounds of meat.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, this is like fresh meat or like preserved meat or
Like it's pretty fresh.
Oh wow, so not even smoked. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fresh.
Hey, don't worry about
Do a Constitution saving throw.
Delicious. All right. Any other business that anyone would like to tend to?
Yes, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have access at all to Gundren's house?
It is very locked. You can break in if you want.
But it will not help you. As per last time.
Traumatized.
On second thought, do I know where he acquired some of his wine?
You know that he had it imported.
Oh, fuck. All right. Where's the nearest place I can buy a bottle of alcohol?
Literally the tavern you stay in.
Really?
Yep.
What about a fancier alcohol?
This is alcohol that could run anywhere between 1 and 50 gold a bottle.
Okay. All right.
I
I
think
want
it's
to
more
go.
a question of you can't get cheap booze there.
Yeah, you cannot get cheap booze at the Driftwood Tavern.
Oh,
Keep
you
in
can't.
mind, this place is mainly gauged towards nobles. It is 10 gold a week to stay in.
Yeah, I'm amazed Madame Rosen actually tolerates us riffraff in there.
It is only for Gundren that she does so.
Does the bar cover our drinks per Gundren's?
Only food, because you don't need to drink to do your job.
That's not true.
What a terrible dwarf.
he's
No, he knows
allowed.
exactly what's up.
Yeah, he's allowed a few too many slip-ups in the free drinks department. So
What would it cost to get like 4 bottles of the cheapest wine they have at the Driftwood Tavern?
about 4 gold, 1 gold a bottle.
I'll do it.
Okay. Fork
Wow.
over 4 gold, and Madame Rosen will hand you 4 full bottles of a nice red wine in sort of a cloudy bottle.
Fantastic.
4 for the road.
Gotta make sure I'm stocked up.
Right. Enjoy, dear. She vanishes back into her office.
Alright.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to do? Purchases to be made before your trip?
I'm good.
Okay. If no one has anything else, then we can continue on to the next morning. The rest of the day goes without any eventful nature. Niah shares with you the information that she learned from the library. Rinn has a map of the area you're going. The morning comes once again, and Bud, I'm sure you're downstairs at 5 a.m. sharp,
You know it.
hanging out with the cat.
Weird.
Sorry, I said that out loud.
And, yeah, sort of the morning is yours. It is
quick.
sort of a warm, breezy morning
When are we supposed to depart? Afternoon? Or
in the morning, as soon as you're
Okay,
ready.
yeah, no, Niah would be up early.
How early is early?
Not as early as fucking Bud.
What a weirdo.
Reyka is also up early.
Okay,
Probably about 6:30 or 7.
cool. So yeah, morning comes and everyone sort of gathers downstairs to have breakfast for the day, and Madame Rosen individually
More important question: does Rinn wake up in time?
Begrudgingly, yes.
begrudgingly. Madame Rosen comes around to each of you as you all come down to say a best of luck on your journey. I hope it is well. I hope the weather finds you fair and the road finds you safe.
That's good thinking. And I want to cast Druidcraft to check what the weather's going to be in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Forgot I could do that.
All right.
Wow.
I actually was not aware Druidcraft did that.
You create a tiny, harmless sensory effect that predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours. The effect might manifest as a golden orb for clear skies, a cloud for rain, falling snowflakes for snow, and so on. This effect persists for 6 seconds.
Interesting. Okay. So as you sort of go to cast the spell, it forms out of your sort of fingers, and this little rain cloud sort of just into existence above your hands, dripping little bits of rain.
Well, not a great first day, but we can work with that.
And anyone looking outside, you can see on the horizon, out in the trackless expanse, the sea that borders the Sword Coast here. There are quite a few storm clouds that seem to be rolling inland.
So wait, did Synas just create raindrops like above his hand? Is that what happened?
Created the
Just
image
like-
of.
Just a little image of it, yeah,
Yeah.
not like
Isn't
actual
it?
water.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
Are
the
you in
like.
the cavern?
Like when you look at your phone. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
"What's the
yeah.
weather?"
Yep.
And it does
It's
the
a little
little
rain
effect.
cloud with rain. Yeah.
Yep.
Is it 2-dimensional or is it?
That's up to him.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? I want it to be 2-dimensional, but like it always kind of tries to turn to whoever's looking at it.
So it's like a really shitty video game effect where it's like
Hell,
always
yeah.
running after people's point of view. All right, yeah.
I'm like, it has a
Yeah.
Star Wars hologram. D&D.
Look, some of us want half a pound of tobacco, others are fucking summoning video games. It's fine.
Don't fucking ask questions. That's all I'm saying. Absolutely.
If Rinn saw this in the tavern,
Sure.
she's
He's
freaking
not hiding
enraptured by it. She's like, "Did you just? Are you?
Did
Did
I
you
just? Did I just?
Did you just
Did I?
check the weather? Because you made a
I-
comment about it, so it sounded like that's what you just did.
I should have had some Weather Channel music prepared.
I
Please do what your soundboard.
Bam, 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 bam.
God. I did.
Well, this is Synas.
I
I'm your
thought it
forecaster
was-
for today. We're looking at clear skies.
Partly
You're
cloudy
not-
with a
you're
50%
not
chance of rain
that
in the
far
afternoon.
off. He would be kind of taken aback, but eventually would respond with, I did. I figured it would be best to know the pace of travel we should make in case the storms get bad and we need to hunker down.
That is so cool. I don't know if we've met. Hi, I'm Rinn. She holds out her hand.
Synas, and he shakes your hand.
And Rinn's hand is just lost in the giant paw of this huge tiger lion man. and she shakes it emphatically and just says, "You're big."
Bud comes out of nowhere. Ain't he so cool? He's like the greatest person to get hugs from. Ain't that right, Synas?
Synas,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, it's fine. Everybody does it. Don't worry about it. I didn't expect this level of excitement for forecasting the weather. I thought it was I thought it was a mostly routine act.
So were you born knowing how to do that, or did you have to learn it?
Oh no, I don't actually know if I've ever thought about this. Time to decide on the top of my head.
Improv!
I
Pop quiz, hotshot.
I mean, it's a rather simple trick. I think I've always known.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, my
That
magic
would have
works
been
the same
real
way.
helpful back on the farm. I wish I'd had you there.
Wait, you know, questions can come later. We should focus. Farm? No, never mind.
Yeah,
You seem-
Niah's gonna watch this whole exchange just amused.
Rinn's just like, you seem a little nervous, Synas. Is everything okay?
Bigger group than I'm used to is all, and a little bit more informal than I'm used to.
Well, do you drink?
I'm gonna need a little bit more to go. Are you talking like
Wine. Do you
water?
drink wine?
I suppose it's not my first choice, but I
She
wouldn't turn it down.
she hits him with an elbow lightly, and she goes, "Well, it will get along just fine."
I've had a couple drinks with Rinn as well. She's a great drinking buddy.
I will make a note of that then. I might take you up on the offer later.
I feel like if Bud is doing any last things, he would probably thank Madame Rosen for all the hospitality that she's shown everyone, and like put that in contrast to like his upbringing and like how his parents like instilled that in him, and she does a whole bunch of really cool stuff with the magic and everything. And he'd probably say his goodbyes to the cat's name, Pepper. I made notes last time.
Hey, you took notes. I'm super proud of you.
So yeah, he'd say like, I guess this is I don't know when I'll see you next time, Pepper, but it was really nice getting to take care of you and see you each morning.
The cat, which for everyone's reference is a black and white sort of adorable cat who is sort of the
Uno's.
tavern kitty. It's not Uno. More
Stealing my
What was
style.
the cat's name? Pepper?
Pepper hops up on one of the chairs next to you and nuzzles into whatever part of you is closest and just kind of gives you a just staring
Was
up
that
you.
supposed to be a
Yeah,
her?
to
I didn't hear it.
no, just a. Oh, Crisp did the thing, didn't it? Sure
Probably.
did. So yeah, the cat just kind of looks up at you with those big eyes and just goes.
Wow.
You're so cute. I'll be sure to give plenty of pats and rubs to Synas if he'll let me.
Oh, wow.
I gotta pet some
Oh.
kitty around here.
Let him hear you say that. Wow.
Watch out.
Very, very informal.
Yeah, no, at this point, Niah is just fucking dying.
Reyka's eyebrows just raised a little.
Rinn looks at Synas. She goes, "How well do you two know each other?"
In passing, mostly. I've never actually. I tend to. I tend to stay here, and I've just been waiting. So I've been keeping to myself mostly.
Talked a couple times, Synas.
A
You
few.
seem like a real nice guy.
Well, thank you. He's just a little off put by all of a sudden attention just from.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Well, if there
Poor
is
giant cat.
poor giant cat man, awkward cat man.
Mhm.
If there is nothing else any of you would like to do this morning, your group gathers their things and sees off Madame Roseanne as you leave, perhaps for the last time in a little while, the Driftwood Tavern. You make your way to the south gate of Neverwinter, outside of which is a sort of checkpoint, as it were, where different sort of cartmaster groups assemble carts, disassemble them for moving into the city. And there is one sort of black-haired, sort of tan-skinned half-elf leaning against one of the posts, just kind of looking around as you guys approach. And as you come closer, kind of is just staring at you guys as you walk by him. Just like really squinty staring.
Is this our caravan?
Well, there's just a half-elf staring at you, leaning against a post. Next to one of the Caravaneer buildings, but
Oh, okay. Do we know who we're meeting?
you were just told the cart was being prepared and
Okay.
to head to the south gate.
Does he look like he works there? Does he got a little
Uh,
tag that says his name or anything?
His name tag.
Hello, my name is. No, he's wearing simple garb with sort of riding leathers. So you can maybe assume he works here.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to him.
Sure. And he kind of goes, morning.
Good morning.
Boisterous. I was told to wait for a colorful group of individuals, and yeah, you guys fit the bill. Okay, are you Gundren's guys?
Yeah, we are definitely pretty colorful. I'm green, and Thava is like orange, and Synas is white.
Yeah, thanks. I don't need a lesson on color theory this morning. Appreciate it. Yeah, okay. Your cart's all assembled. I got you 2 big old draft horses. It's quite the load you'll be pulling. Heading to Fandalen. Cool. Alrighty. You guys travel much? You caravan much?
At this point, Niah just nods her head.
Okay.
No my way around.
You guys been in this area before heading down there?
Nope.
Nope.
Don't think so.
Okay, so yeah, all right.
Which
There's
direction are we heading again?
you're heading. Actually, let's flippity floop back over to the Faerunian map.
South and then slightly east.
We'll give you the big map here for a moment.
I'll work.
So you get the big map. So you guys are here in Neverwinter. You are heading, down into this area.
Got
Not
it,
too
okay.
far. Reyka, you would know that along this route is a group of giants that you helped at one point.
Yes.
Yes. So
I was trying to figure out where we were going. I'm like, is this the road that I know?
this is the road you know. So the half elf kind of just like lifts his nose a little bit. It's like, so you guys don't know about the giants then, if you haven't been down there recently.
And Reyka says, oh, I know about the giants. I know them pretty well.
Oh, thank every god, because like I'm so tired of explaining it. Okay, cool. So she's got you covered. Awesome. I'm gonna go get your horses ready. Yeah, all right. There's no like anything else we need to do. We're gonna finish this transaction. You guys are gonna be on your way. I got another appointment in 15 minutes. Let's go, people. And he like turns and his posture is that of a shrimp. Very curvy, slouchy.
Very descriptive.
Evocative imagery is what we're going for. And he sort of beckons you guys to follow him, and you come around the corner, and there is a cart with two very large draft horses affixed to the front of it. That is full of supplies, like entirely. The entire back of this large cart is completely full of supplies. There is space enough for maybe 2 people to sit in the rider seats, and that's about it.
Is there room for Thava's chest though?
Yeah, you can toss that up there.
Okay, cool. And she
He
just
keeps-
lugs this massive fucking chest and just, well, I shouldn't say massive, but lugs this chest up there and just tosses it aboard.
Yeah,
I keep saying chest, and my mind goes to.
Okay, not
these huge tracts of land.
I was not going to say anything, but also was like, where's Rhos?
Interesting.
So he kind of gestures to it and goes, you can put all your stuff in there. There's just probably barely enough room for it, and you're heading south. You guys good with horses? Someone's got to drive, so...
Yeah, is there someone good with
Not so much.
Right.
Wait, drive the horses.
Okay, and he kind of looks at all of you and looks at Bud and is like, look like a farmer. You good with horses?
Good. Wait, can you hear me? Okay.
I couldn't
I
hear you
said,
before.
Oh yeah, I'm real good with horses.
Didn't hear that before. And he kind of looks you over and goes, cool, all right. Get on up there, big guy. You're horseman. All right, cool.
Bud Horseman?
Bud horseman.
Where Niah pops up into the right next to the bud.
All right. And he just kind of gives you a thumbs up and just heads off without another word, leaving you guys to sort of begin your trek.
Everyone else is
This
on foot.
horse and
Everyone
attack
else is on foot.
Everyone else has to march on foot. There is no space on
Yeah.
this cart.
Used to it.
All right.
Mhm.
So
That's why Niah went out next to Bud is ASAP.
we'll switch
I was
over.
like, shotgun.
Switch over this map here for a closer view. This is, of course, the map that Rinn has acquired. So, your journey will take you several days. Your target is here, of course, Fandalen. And you set out on the high road.
Wait.
Hold
Reyka's
on.
gonna elaborate
There it
on
is. Okay.
what. Gonna elaborate on these giants, right?
Right? Yeah.
So a little while ago, there's some giants. They started to settle here in the kind of along the road there, and they were causing trouble for the caravans and supplies and stuff using the road. So I have the ability to speak giant. So Gundren asked if I could help negotiate with them. So they should leave us alone. They should be peaceful. The truce that we came up with is we have to share any food and ale and pelts if we have any. Share a portion of it for safe passage.
Oh no, Thava's meat.
Oh no!
Well, I will offer the 3 rabbits that I caught, but we'll probably have to give them a little more than that.
Who knows if she has meat on her or not? Come on.
I'm pretty sure
we
we can smell the
to be
tripping.
fair, she's probably, enjoying little snacks here and there throughout the day.
Wait. Are you cooking those morsels of meat?
I don't know, is she?
That's why I'm asking.
That's a question for you, but you don't seem to see her ever cook it.
No, just a
Okay.
Just
Cut
little
little pieces off,
nibs.
no.
All right, so
Well, if we need to catch more, it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
with that, you all set out along the high road, heading south.
Great.
Sorry, I'm trying to do like 5 things at once here.
No, I didn't mean anything by that. I was just like, cool.
Bud, you are
Happy to be here.
So rude, bud.
Bud, you are driving the caravan. You are driving the horses. Why don't you give me an animal handling check?
Yeah, I hope it's
All of us
smoking while
or
doing
just
it,
Bud?
please.
Just Bud. Unless someone would like to assist in some way if you're proficient in animal handling.
I am proficient in animal handling.
How would you like to assist him?
Well, I guess it depends on what the problem is.
Give
Well,
really good advice.
This is this is just to
Alright.
keep the horses going on the path, not distracted, keep them focused
roll-
and at the normal pace.
I rolled an
Well-
18.
I suppose I could walk alongside the horses up front.
Sure, and just kind of comfort them as you go along.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does an assist add?
It gives you advantage. So go ahead and roll
What does it match?
another d20.
You need me to roll that?
Yeah, no, that'll be Bud
Alright.
rolling it. So you're
That'll be
assisting
Bud,
him.
okay.
Yeah, you're assisting him, so he gets advantage.
Okay.
I just did 18, so like I can.
I mean, you
roll
can
against-
fish for a crit. I'm just
Yeah, why
Why
not?
not?
just throwing it out
Sure.
there.
Might as well.
Yeah, we'll stick with 18.
Okay, cool. So 18 horses mind their P's and Q's. They're just trotting along, going along. This is a heavy cart, and it very much sounds like it as you roll your way down the road. So as you set out southward, a warm air blows in from the trackless sea to the west, and as you continue along through the day, those rains that Synas predicted do come, though it's very light, and it keeps you all pleasantly cool on this first day of your journey. The trip is mostly uneventful. There's, beautiful open fields with the winding high road cutting through them. Off to the east, you can see large forests, and in the distance to the south, the Sword Mountains, climbing into the sky. Everything seems very calm. There's some birds in the air. Overall, nothing worries you throughout your day.
Who wants to play I Spy? I spy with my little eye something that
A
is.
tree.
God damn it. Okay, I spy with my little eye something.
A butterfly.
But you're so good at this game. Goodness.
You get pretty good at it when you're on the road so long.
And Niah nods as you say this.
Throughout your day, Rinn tries to play I Spy for. Do you try and do it for the whole time, all 8 hours of the march day?
Oh
Pretty
my
much.
fucking
No.
God.
Bud just indulges
please.
her every single time.
And I assume you're traveling at a normal pace.
Hmm.
Regular pace.
No reason not to.
Okay. So you guys get to. I'm just gonna use Bud because he's driving. He's gonna be our marker. That little guy.
There we go, that little guy.
That guy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. So in one day, you guys can cover about 24 miles worth of this journey. So we're gonna get you to just about there-ish for day one of your travel.
Okay.
As the sun begins to set, you pull the horses and cart off to the side of the road and begin to set up camp. Anyone who wants to can roll a survival check to find the best spot for maybe camping out in this area.
No.
I can as well.
21.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Hey!
Well, fuck me then.
Oh, 24.
All right, so Synas, you're searching about for a while. You know, kind of being like, oh, this is a nice open area. It's all right. Seems nice and soft grass. And Reyka kind of goes up on a hill and looks around and finds this like perfect little sort of circle area with some trees around it, and just kind of points it out to you guys. And it's like the ideal campsite. It's got a beautiful view of the sea. It's fairly off the road. There's spaces to tie the horses up. You can make camp for the night, no problem. There's not. Do you guys want to do any watches throughout the night?
Probably should.
I
So
was gonna say I could take a first watch because Synas would be kind of a late night person anyways. So
Same.
I can take the early morning one. I like to wake up with the sun.
sure, okay. So first watch can be Thava and Synas, and third watch can be Reyka. Does anyone want to take the midnight watch?
Not me.
No, I'll take it.
Okay.
Sure,
So-
you can take the midnight watch.
Yeah.
Thanks,
yeah.
So go ahead, Thava and Synas, roll me some perception checks.
17.
Let's get something a little more
1 second.
chill here.
Perception.
Perceive with your special eyes.
Oh my god, it's Thunder John! What?
Big dragon.
You got a natural
Yeah, I got
one?
Nat 20. I got
Oh,
22.
nat 20, okay.
Yeah, I got 22.
I was like,
Well,
what are you?
fuck me twice. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, Synas, what did you roll?
It was 17.
Okay.
11 plus 6.
Okay.
Nothing eventful. There's some other groups of caravans heading north that are seeming to travel throughout the night, with some fairly tired-looking horses that travel by, but you're fairly off the road. They don't pay you any mind. And your watch is pretty uneventful. Niah, would you roll a perception check for me?
Oh yeah, I'll also do the alone too. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Rinn was up for a little bit and then she just fell back asleep.
Okay, where's my character sheet? There it is. You said perception.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I rolled a natural 1, so I got a 3.
You
Heck yeah.
seems fine.
Seems fine.
Seems
Yup,
fine.
Yup.
You don't notice anything.
Yup. I wouldn't. It's midnight.
Yeah. Oh, you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're fine. Your watch comes and goes without any issue, you think. And you wake up Reyka for her watch. Reyka, could you roll a perception check for me?
Let's see, 17 plus 6, 23.
All right. In the early morning hours, you take note of several of the other sort of camping sites along the road that you could see some plumes of smoke emitting from. Their embers have died down, and there's just lightly wisping sort of smoke going through the air. It's about 4 in the morning that it starts to rain. And as your watch goes on, it does get progressively rainier and more dense. And as your watch finishes up, it is the beginnings of an autumn storm. And you all wake up. The day is yours.
Soaked.
You're all getting rather soaked.
Well, this marks the second day that I've woken up soaked in water. She eyes Niah.
Niah is just grinning without looking at you.
You're
And
around
Reyka just looked at you confusedly.
to some individuals in this party. This is not an abnormal experience on these roads. You gather up all your things, your sleeping arrangements, and unhitch the horses, and set out for another day of travel along the road here.
There is one thing I want to do in the morning.
Tell me about it.
Well, first off, obviously,
Check the
I'm
weather.
doing Druidcraft
Yeah.
by default, just
Okay.
to help us a little bit.
It's much
Um,
rainier today than yesterday.
But after a long rest, I'd like to use the chef feat to make a couple treats.
What?
Absolutely.
Off of various berries and other things that have been foraged. Who would like to have 2 temporary hit points for the day?
Oh my god, me. Me, absolutely me. Please.
Wow.
Oh, there's
Wow,
one.
that was quick.
I feel like the melee character should also have it.
I'm paper. I need it.
But how many do you have?
I have 8 hit
Okay.
points.
Like,
8!
2 traits.
yeah, Thava can have it.
If it's made of
Now
berries and such.
now
stuff,
she's wet
I'm
paper.
Too interested.
Wet paper.
Oh, that's fair. Oh,
That's okay. I can make it out of other things in the next day.
let's see.
I just don't want to go through all of my supplies right
I
away,
guess-
cooking custom things.
I guess Niah would take it. No one's gonna take it.
Yeah. You can just assume for the travel that for now you 2 have 2 temporary hit points.
Now,
So
what,
now-
what did you make and what does it taste like?
Oh god.
No.
The bane of taking the chef feat, you have to tell them.
Oh god. I'm like the least creative when it comes to actual cooking in real life. Is the thing. So
Yeah.
me half-assing it would sound like so boring.
Well,
That's
it's
the
made
secret.
from-
Good cooks make boring things taste good.
Exactly.
It's made from berries. It's like a tart or something. Baking in the wild.
Oh wow.
Hey, you can make survival bread in a cast iron skillet.
I mean,
Well,
hey, I
it's-
can taste fires, bro.
It's better than hardtack or dripping meat, right?
That's cool.
I did.
Oh, I see what you did there. Thanks.
You're welcome.
After Synas makes a wonderful little snack for a couple people, and you guys have your morning breakfast, you head out with the horses once again, heading south further. Anyone who is keeping watch for the convoy of 1 cart, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure.
I got it.
Just keep it quiet.
Everyone?
I would assume
Perception
all
throw
of you.
today. Yeah.
12.
19, 12,
11.
11.
Whoa, 17.
Ooh, that is a 1. Yikes.
Oh no!
Actually,
got
yes,
3.
17.
17, okay. Bud, would you like to roll perception?
I got 11.
Okay. So throughout your guys' day, you kind of move to right about here or so. Your second day of travel, towards sort of the middle of the afternoon, kind of getting toward the beginning of the evening. The area around you becomes much more hillless. It is still sort of rolling fields and meadows. What? What?
It's not a word.
It's not, but you know what I mean. More full of
Therefore, the word.
more full of hills. It communicates meaning. Just more often there are hills. Toward the evening, as you come around one of the bends in this trail, you guys notice there's 2 children just kind of sitting by the edge of the road. And as your cart comes around, they kind of wave you down. And they're just like, "Oi, hey, we need some help over here."
Who are you?
Well,
Trust.
my parents, they've sort of left us and they've gone off into the hills. They were looking for food and they said to just stay right here. And we've just been here for hours.
Insight check, or are they full of shit?
Okay,
Say again,
give me
can I,
give me some insight checks.
All right.
I don't know,
15.
y'all.
I
Shouldn't we try
got
to help him?
Fucking 19!
Oh shit, okay.
Okay. So, sorry,
Nice insight check there, Dill.
19. Who else?
I got
8.
15.
8, 15.
It's embarrassing. It's 2 1s in a row now. It's not good.
Oofda.
because I siphoned all your good rolls away.
I'm gonna
I
have to take those
actually-
back.
I actually want to just do a perception check to like the tree line, just
Sure.
to see.
Yep, give me a perception check.
19.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. You do see some shifting off in one of the tree lines. But animal could be wind, but the wind's not really blowing that way. You're not getting a good vibe. Everyone except Rinn. You look at these kids, they are kind of suspicious. They kind of keep glancing off toward one of the hills that you cannot really see behind from this current position.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just kind of tugging on, Synas, one of them's tugging at your robe, like, please, can we go look for my parents? I'm so scared.
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna push the child down.
Oh,
Wow, savage. Make a attack roll for me.
That's a non-lethal.
No, I
guys.
know, no, yeah. Pushing is still an attack action.
Isn't that like an athletics?
It's,
I got it.
well, I have to, she has to hit first.
Well,
What,
Can you push the kid down?
what'd you get?
4.
A 4. All right.
That's what
You
happens
mean-
when I roll digital dice.
What did I tell you? Okay. The kid kind of ducks out of the way and is like, "Oh, what? Come on, what are you doing? We're just kids. Leave us. What are you doing?"
She's gonna go, oh, Jarweest, you're full of shit and I know it.
But
Where
like
is-
shouting in the background, like, Ram, what are you doing? They're just kids. We should try to help them.
They're not. They're devilish little buggers.
Can I ask who is standing who would be on like the left side of the cart generally? As you're marching with this.
I would say me.
I imagined I was on the left side, but like up by the horse's head.
Okay.
I don't know if that counts.
So 2 of you on the left.
Yeah, I'd say left because I've been watching the tree line
Okay.
things just in case.
I've been on the cart with Bud.
Reyka, does a 10 hit you?
That's the AC, right?
Correct.
No, it does not.
Okay. You all hear and an arrow just lodges into the side of the cart near where Reyka is standing. And sort of as this happens, that hill where you guys couldn't really see behind, three individuals sort of stand up and all draw bows down at you guys and go, "Oi! Lay down your shit, it will take you."
This wouldn't happen to your parents, would they?
And the kids at this point just run.
Reyka just goes,
That's a no.
Reyka just goes, what?
oh, it didn't record me. It was a big sigh.
Oh.
I guess it
Oh.
didn't pick me up.
I'll give you one chance, and one chance only. You can drop all your shit and leave the cart, or we're gonna fill you full of arrows.
So was this first arrow not the one shot?
It's a warning shot.
Or
Uh-huh.
shot? Mm.
Okay, so at this point, Niah just kicks off the cart and starts ambling towards them. And in her hand, she summons a flame, and somebody says, "Yeah, you and what army?"
Oh, yeah, no closer. We'll get you full of arrows, we will. And one of them to his right's like, "This is fucking magic, man. What the fuck?"
Yeah, initiative roll in. What can we do?
Niah, make an intimidation check.
Oh, intimidation.
You're scary. Come on.
14.
I still
14?
pretty good.
It's not horrible, but
It's
Wait,
pretty good for
can I-
level 1.
Can I assist by also looking scary
How do you look scary?
with fire?
Yeah, tell me what you do.
Okay, Rinn lights a fireball that she throws at the ground, kind of like between them, and like manipulates the fire into looking like a big, huge goat with horns.
Okay.
wow, that's pretty cool.
All right. Niah, go ahead and roll with advantage, or Rinn, you can roll separate.
I want to give advantage to,
Okay.
to Niah.
Niah, go ahead and
Okay.
roll at advantage.
Okay, 20.
There we
Okay,
go.
yeah, all right. 20 definitely will do it. So as this happens and this flaming goat sort of springs up, they all just immediately, and just book it back across the hill like, we're not here for witches, fuck! And they just run. They're fucking gone. And those kids are nowhere to be seen.
I was just about to ask.
They booked it roughly in the same direction the bandits went.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You continue on. Whoop, not that song.
Yeah, that's right.
Do
Get
we
out of
continue
here,
or
you
do we
old
pursue?
bags.
Yeah,
Can
we have a job.
Bud,
Our job is,
like,
our job
sorry.
is to-
Unless they're
Reyka just
awkwardly
takes-
running in the same direction we're going.
No, they are not. They're taking off toward the woods.
No.
What were you saying, Reyka?
Reyka just shakes her head and just like, and then she whispers something to the cheek of one of the horses and just wants to carry on.
Sure.
Yep.
You guys continue on the rest of your day.
Go ahead and watch our backs just in case.
Sure,
As we
yeah.
travel.
Sure. And throughout the rest of the day, nothing seems to happen, but there is still just a constant downpour the whole day. You guys are all soaked. Using some of your perception checks from earlier, some of you can see where you could kind of guess this Tribor trail begins, as you see sort of what looks like some very tall buildings, kind of like an outpost, sort of along the road, but it's another 10 miles or so ahead of you guys. Would you like to press on into the bit of the night, or would you like to stop for the night here?
We're soaked. Like, my cloak is like soaked through. I want to stop.
Okay. So once again, you guys kind of look around for a maybe less soaked area. Yeah, Synas and Reyka working together to kind of find a spot that maybe the angle of the rain doesn't quite bear down on you, maybe a copse of trees. You sort of set in for the evening once again. Can I get some night watches?
You can do first one again.
Sure, why not?
Perception checks.
I guess Bud would do like the last one since he'd be up pretty early anyways.
Okay, so Thava, Synas, first watch.
Oh my fucking god!
Wow.
Is that another nat one?
I'm cursed. Yeah, it's another one now. One.
Wow, this is.
8 nat ones in a row.
No shit.
I think you need to.
Natural 20 on my end.
Okay. Oh,
We
good
got
job.
20, but
Wow.
You got this.
So
All right.
26 altogether.
Woo, man. All right. Yeah, you. The rain does not faze you. You are very used to being out here on the roads, out in the wilds, and you note a couple, rabbits here and there, kind of creeping through the underbrush, sniffing at you guys, but not really coming any closer. No bandits, though. Thava, you just are sullenly soaking in the rain and
It's
not,
fucking miserable.
yeah, not having much of it. But the rest of your watch goes pretty uneventful.
Okay.
Niah, midnight watch?
midnight watch and then morning rain.
Yep.
Rinn will attempt to help this time.
Okay.
Cool. I rolled a nat one. So
This group is cursed.
You guys
That
really?
means you fall asleep.
I don't figure I see and hear nothing over the rain.
Yeah. Rinn?
11.
Okay. Neither of... Okay, yeah. On 11, you don't really notice anything. It's just rainy. It's beaten down. There's a pretty good storm. Not much lightning, just a lot of rain.
Yeah, the lightning gets fucking season.
Yeah. But otherwise, fairly uneventful. Bud and Reyka, give me some morning perception checks.
Let's
got
see. I got 24.
Okay. Very nice. You guys, as the sun very gently begins to sort of come over the horizon, you sort of get a great view of the morning goings-on of this this outpost or encampment that's just to your south here. the next juncture. You see some very, very large figures milling about in the morning. Reyka, you know these to be giants. you can tell from a
They
distance.
might be giants.
They might be giants. It's a great band. But that's all you really notice, and everyone wakes up. Someone roll a d20 for me.
Not me. Not
Who?
17.
17. The morning is beautiful, bright, and sunny. As the sun rises, the clouds have cleared away, and the morning weather is looking much better than yesterday.
And what is the
I
forecast? say?
informed everybody of what we saw in the early hours.
Okay. But most importantly, what's the forecast say?
Looks
That's
like.
Druidcraft.
Yep. Your Druidcraft forecast is saying partly cloudy skies throughout much of the day, followed by mostly cloudy in the evening.
And for the record, I'm not going to change who gets treats unless somebody desperately wants the 2 temporary hit points for the day.
When you check the weather and the partly cloudy skies appear above your paw, Rinn's eyes sparkle. And she's just like, that's so cool.
Helps mostly to know if we need to press on or stop early.
So as the morning comes, you guys get the horses ready to go again, and couple hours of travel, you come upon this large, kind of medium-sized outpost as far as the number of buildings, but they are huge wooden constructs. And Reyka had informed you of seeing giants, and as you'd expect, you see a large set of huts on one corner of this road junction. There is an archway sign that has been erected spanning over the road that reads, in Giant, if anyone could read Giant other than Reyka.
No.
No.
Nope.
So, Reyka, you see this sign says Mountain Hold Crossing. The outpost seems to be a sort of long-term camping space with outdoor storage, an area for prepping food, and several huts that have been erected as homes for this group of what many of you would now presume to be giants. You see at least 5 of them milling about in the camp, their steps all sort of as they move around. And as your group begins to approach, one large giant, standing around 15 feet tall, with palish blue skin and a simple loincloth and top made from different animal furs and skins that have been sort of affixed together, approaches you guys. Its long face appears to be set in an almost permanent frown, and its dark brown eyes regard you with intent as it holds a large hand up to you guys as if to signal you to stop.
All right, y'all. I suggest we decide what we're good to part with for safe passage along this road.
Do you take a look through the cart to see what there is?
Yeah.
Let me get the list of things here. 'Cause
Hopefully there's one that's marked with like this is.
And
for
in the
the giants,
meantime,
you
I'd like to, speak to the giant and let them know that we understand the rules of the road here and that we will come up with a fair trade.
The giant, do you say this in common or in giant?
Can the giant understand common?
You can certainly try.
I'll speak in giant.
Okay. So as you say that, the giant looks down at you and goes, "Oh, you're responding in giant. Good. Glad to hear. Just offer it over and you may go past. No trouble."
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Looking through the wagon, you find that the wagon is absolutely packed full of an assortment of mining supplies and food. This includes a dozen sacks of flour, several casks of salted pork, 2 kegs of strong ale, shovels, picks, and crowbars, about a dozen of each, and 5 lanterns with a small barrel of oil, about 50 flasks worth of volume. At a first glance, you guys might guess that this cart's got about 100 gold worth of supplies in it.
I definitely think one of those kegs of ale should be parted with.
Mm-hmm.
I will also offer my 3 rabbits I caught, even though that won't be too much for a giant. How tall are the giants anyway?
This one's about 15 feet tall, but some of the others are even taller than that.
Okay.
In the
I
sort
do
of
have-
20-foot range.
Some trail rations. but they're probably not much for a giant.
Nope. They so you guys bring out a cask of ale, those rabbits. Anything else?
What about some of that pork? How much pork do we have?
It is several casks worth of it, so quite a lot.
Okay, I say we part with some of that pork too. What do you guys think?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I'd say at least half.
Sure.
Half. Oh, calm
What the
down.
hell? What?
Big.
Jesus.
They're huge.
The so you guys assemble this sort of offering several casks of this pork. You've got probably like 7 or 8 of them, so you bring out like 3.
That sounds good.
Okay. So that plus the ale and the rabbits, the giant sort of squats down, puts one hand on his long chin in sort of common. He kind of speaks out this will do. I think it's good. I suppose. Yeah, you can go past, yes. And he very, very sort of gently, very surprisingly gentle for a creature of this size, picks up each of those items and piles them into one of his hands and stands fully up and kind of gives you guys a nod and steps out of the way of the road.
And Reyka says, "Thank you, noble sir. We wish you a good day."
Be safe on the roads. Trouble out there. And that's all he says before heading into camp with that. And you are free to begin on this offshoot toward the Tribor Trail, which will take you guys toward the east.
Boy, am I sure glad that Reyka was there to
Negotiate
protect us
that?
from
Right.
the giants.
Mm-hmm.
And negotiate that to begin with.
And the fact that you have someone who speaks giant is the main thing that's helping here.
Yes.
And they also kind of know Reyka, so. Alrighty. So you guys head, the rest of your day kind of takes you a ways up the Tribor Trail here. Not too far, a few miles. And you have one more night's rest. So I'll just need another set of night watches.
Sure.
I don't for the morning again.
Yep.
Reyka likes mornings.
11.
Okay.
16.
16.
Wow.
Very nice. You guys do notice that about 9 p.m. or so, getting on in the evening, a couple of the giants do return from the forests up toward the north, or where you assume the forests up toward the north is where they were at. They could have been among the hills. And they seem to be carrying a number of fairly large pack animals on their backs that they were hunting. That's about all you notice, though.
As in, like, legitimately pack animals? Or...
Like ox, like big cow, like Highland
Okay.
heifer sort of creatures. But otherwise, fairly uneventful. Midnight watch.
I rolled an 18.
Oh.
I rolled a 3, so I
heck?
got 5.
All right. Cool. 18 and a 5. Niah, you do not really notice much. For one reason or another, you are rather distracted, perhaps a bit sleepy, after
Great.
traveling for multiple days in a row.
Can I take advantage of this situation right now?
I don't know, can you?
Could I
You can
have
certainly try.
You can certainly try.
Could I have an open bottle of ale I've been nursing a little bit and pour it down the back of Niah's hood?
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
What the fuck?
They're pranksters.
Damn it, and I'm that oblivious.
Yeah, we're using your perception of 5.
Okay, I rolled a 14 and I have a +5, so 19.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Without Niah, you're just sitting there, and suddenly this warm liquid runs down the back of your neck.
Warm? Oh.
I mean, you don't have refrigeration.
Yeah.
It
Niah
is
immediately
room
jumps
temperature
to her
ale.
feet. Now, eyes wide, looking around for, and then she spots you, and I'm assuming the cackling coming from you.
Yeah. She's got her hoofs crossed, and she's just kind of smiling and swigging her ale.
Right. So Niah is gonna point a finger at you, look at you twice, and then say, "At least what I did washed out."
Yeah, it might
And
take a few
promptly-
trips to the river for that one.
And just promptly takes off their cloak and cloak and hood.
Rinn mentally evens the scoreboard.
There you go. There you
And
go.
then now Niah marks.
It's never actually an even battle between you two, I see. That does honestly make a lot of sense given sort of your relationship with each other the last few weeks. All right, the rest of the watch goes pretty uneventfully. Rinn, on an 18, do you have dark vision?
I do not.
Okay, make another roll because this would be a disadvantage technically for seeing things.
Jesus fucking Christ, you guys. 17!
Wow. I mean, solid for disadvantage.
I'm not gonna, as soon as shit gets real, I'm not gonna roll like this.
It's gonna roll like crap the second it needs to happen, right?
Yup.
Okay. So, you kind of notice further along the trail, you seem to think you see sort of, it's a very winding trail. You're not sure. It could be animals. It could be creatures of some kind, but they're like a mile off ahead of the trail on you guys. You notice movement in the night, but nothing seems to approach you guys.
Okay.
And your watch is over. My morning folks, Bud and Reyka, would you make some perception checks for the last watch of the night?
20.
20.
I was actually about to say before she does that, or they do that, I was gonna say, like, I'll assist, but never mind.
I mean, when you're doing watches,
It's not a nat
it's
20, it's a 14 plus 6. So.
when you're doing
Well, that's
watches, it
good.
is just your rolls. Anyone, I should have mentioned, and because so many of you have freaking dark vision that I just assume. But if you do not have dark vision, roll at disadvantage.
We should probably pair ourselves off with one person who has dark vision in each.
Nope, it's simply through the people without dark vision.
I believe Reyka has dark vision.
I do, yeah.
So Bud, go ahead and roll at disadvantage for me.
Okay. And what does disadvantage do again?
You roll twice and take the lower of the two.
Ah, okay. Okay, it's not awful. That's 14.
Oh, okay. Not bad. Yeah, there's not much. Rinn had mentioned seeing, or did you mention seeing, movement when you traded watches with the two of them?
Oh, yes.
In the morning, you guys do see movement along the trail ahead of you, but you mostly note that it seems to be deer and other frolicking animals. Nothing too alarming. But your night of rest comes to a completion. You may do your little morning routine as you begin to set along the road. I'm assuming Synas, you druidcraft the weather report.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to give it
Yeah.
every day. Just, keep it in mind
Yeah.
that it's to help with travel.
Yep.
I was just doing some, like, morning stretches.
Gotta stay
before
limber.
he, yeah, sits himself back on the cart.
All right. And with that, you guys sort of set off and continue on through this rather nice morning. It's sunny, some clouds in the sky, nothing too alarming. As you guys begin to proceed along, the trail becomes much more claustrophobic and close. It goes kind of from like a 2-lane trail to a 1-lane trail. So can I get a marching order from you guys? Who's on the cart? Who's on the left and right? Where is everyone?
Anyone displace me from shotgun.
Reyka's again walking up by the heads of the horses.
I'll just say I'm on the right.
I'd say I'm on the left, like middle near the cart.
Yeah, I'd probably also be in the cart somewhere.
Well, there can only be 2 people sitting on the cart. There's nowhere on the cart to be other than in the rider's seats.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
you,
I'm marked to the left of it.
yeah.
myself.
Can I sit on one of the horses?
They don't really have saddles or anything, and they're kind of set up for... You would slow down the horses and distract them a bit if you were to do so.
Okay.
They're not really set up for being ridden. They're draft horses that are meant for pulling.
Okay. Well, I'll walk behind Reyka then.
Okay, I'm just making a couple notes here real quick. Give me just a moment. If this thing would load. Uh-huh. Yep.
I have to pee desperately. Can I be right back for a
Yeah,
minute?
sure.
All right.
And actually, this would be a good moment if anyone needs to take a moment for anything.
Alright, I'll be right back then.
Yeah, same.
That sounds good. Back in 5.
Yeah, that works.
All right, cool. And did you see my?
Moving right along then. As we head along on this now 4th day of travel. I think 3rd, 4th day? As you are heading along the Tribor Trail here.
It's the 3rd day, I think.
3rd day, yeah. As you head along the Tribor Trail here, about half a day, around noon, you guys come around one bend, and you see in the middle of the road, there are a pair of horses downed in the center of the road. They're sprawled about 50 feet ahead of you, blocking the path. Each of them has several black-feathered arrows sticking out of it, and the woods on the trail on either side here press rather close, with a rather steep embankment to dense thickets, obscuring pretty much everything. So it's about a 10-foot climb on either side of the trail. What do you do?
Thava wants to come up and approach the downed horses and inspect the arrows.
Okay. Give me... Well, what are you looking for specifically?
I'm trying to see if how crude they are, if they might be some kind of like, I don't know if I can get a judge of who or what made them.
Sure, give me an intelligence check.
Flat intelligence?
Yeah, just flat intelligence.
Oh, 1 second.
Is Hyperlight Drifter?
Maybe.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
19.
19, okay. Looking over these arrows, they are somewhat crude, for sure. The black feathers don't look well trimmed. You would assume this maybe could be orcs, goblins?
He just kind of snorts and stands up and goes, orcs, maybe goblins, one or the other.
Do the horses have any kind of markings or anything on them?
They have...
Like to signify that they come from somewhere?
Sure.
Or...
They are carrying barding that would be signifying Neverwinter's colors, sort of bluish and yellow.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Are there any signs that
So
those horses are pulling anything, or?
I want
They
to look at the tree line.
give me some perception checks, you guys who are looking around. Reyka, they do have riding saddles on them,
Okay.
but they look completely looted. The saddlebags are entirely looted. And in fact, as you guys are sort of
18
milling...
or 20 perception.
20 perception, all right.
Yeah, I got 8.
8.
I got 10 or 12.
You don't see anything moving in the tree line. Everything seems pretty clear right now.
Okay.
Really?
Wow.
Oh.
I think while everybody else is looking around, like, Bud is very disconcerted at the sight of the horses, and he leaps down from the cart and like straddles alongside the, not straddles, but like walks alongside the, like, in between. Is it 2 horses or 1?
It's 2 horses. In fact, let me bring you to a map.
Okay.
At this point, Thava will draw her greatsword from her back.
Just one moment to...
Bud
Bud would be trying to like keep them calm.
Let me just double check something real quick here. Should-do. Whoops. Sorry, I'm just realizing something is where it shouldn't be. I know. Unbelievable. I haven't looked at this map in a long time. I'm sorry. Immersion.
I'm not going to leave a good Google review on this.
Oh no. Oh, whatever will I do? Okay, switch back to that layer, and then that layer. Okay. So many layers. Like an onion.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Droogle maps said nothing about an obstruction in the road.
Droogle maps. You have... Okay, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. That's wonderful.
Oh, by the way, is there any kind of trail or any kind of like tracks?
This is a fairly worn trail with cart tracks and hoof prints buried and stamped through it. And I believe I can now bring you guys to the map. This is sort of what you see.
Chat.
Poor Thava off by herself.
So go ahead and place you go ahead and place yourselves if you can move your tokens. I think you can move your tokens. Go ahead and place yourselves where you guys believe to be.
I was gonna ask, am I able to approach and do anything to figure out, like, maybe how long they've been here?
Sure, give me a medicine check.
+4.
I would have kept down and looked at my stuff too.
17.
Okay, yeah. Very clear that they died from being shot to death. They've been dead for probably 5 days.
Ah. Okay.
Maybe 6.
Yeah, I'd relay that to the party, saying, like, they've been here about a week.
And no one's
Maybe.
taking care of them.
And,
Point of order, you would also know that a week is 10 days in Faerun.
oh, well then I wouldn't say a week.
Well,
I don't know that.
Well, Gundren, I mean, they've been here 4 or 5, maybe 6 days. It's hard to say, but Neverwinter Colors, Gundren said he was out here with, what was his name still? I got the note, that's right, Sildar.
Sildar.
This
You guys also
probably doesn't bode well.
You guys also can see the saddlebags very easily. You can see the saddlebags have been looted through and scattered. There's a empty leather map case just sort of laying in the road as well there. Reyka,
Yes.
you're sort of the first to pick up on this. There's what sounds like the blowing of wind through the trees doesn't really line up with the wind. Give me just a moment. I need to make a few rolls.
This from previous perception checks.
Yep.
He's rolling for the win.
But also because Reyka has a feat.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Thava.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where's my stat block? How dare. Hold on, I close one of my stat blocks because I'm a dingleberry.
Oh dear.
Stat block for the wind.
Stat blocks for the win.
AC of whoosh.
Thava, does a 19 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. You take 3 piercing damage
Yikes.
as a black feathered arrow sort of thwack right into your shoulder.
Cool.
And at this point, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh,
Because another arrow came flying past Synas, but Synas, just to double check, a 13 doesn't hit, does it?
No.
Yeah, okay. So an arrow streaks past your shoulder and embeds in the trail next to you.
I got a 7.
Okay, let me get the turn
We got a
order up real
5.
quick.
Excellent.
I also
God.
got a 5.
Yeah, what's your dex?
Oh my god.
What's your dex
how are we-
mod?
Whoever has the higher
It's-
dex mod goes
It's
first.
nothing.
It's nothing for me too.
Oh, rollies!
God, you
Roll
two.
some.
Go
Roll.
again?
Roll a d20. Both of you roll a d20. Whoever has the higher result goes first.
I got a
Okay.
natural 20.
All right. Well.
Oh,
Natural.
Oh,
Let's see,
natural.
Oh no, okay, you get it.
I was gonna say.
about to say, are we going to Mario Party rules?
If
If
such.
you tie in stars and you tie in coins
Yep.
and the dice roll is tied, the game just decides who wins.
Exactly.
I got a natural 20.
Oh man, Bud is just mad about those horses.
Right?
Bud's going into a berserker rage. So we find out he's actually a barbarian. It's like, oh fuck.
Oh shit. He just chucks a bow straight into the woods and kills the dude.
Just
bow,
throws the bow.
Not an arrow,
The
not
bow.
The arrow's the distraction.
Oh, that makes total
I swear
sense.
to God, if these are the bandits.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna kick those kids. I should have helped. I should have assisted and kicked.
Oh my god, terrifying. Absolutely
Shit.
terrifying.
Push those kids like I did.
No.
Okay. So, as this happens, let's switch over some music here. As these arrows fly in, Reyka, you were the only one not surprised by this because of your alert feat. Everyone else, unfortunately, is surprised. Go ahead and enter, Thava and Reyka, enter your initiative rolls in the turn order tracker here.
Oh.
Wait, turn it. Oh, I see.
So the tracker on the left side, you can just click on the 0 and type in what you
We
rolled.
don't add first turn, right?
Correct. You those who are surprised, which is everyone except for Reyka, do not get a first turn. This is a surprise round, as you see a group of 5 goblins appear from the woods. And Reyka, as far as rolling initiative goes,
What?
you understand that? Are you good there?
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
Plus.
Put in?
You have to hit enter after you remember.
Oh.
Oh, okay,
There it
cool.
goes.
Just making sure.
Yeah, it said 7, but I didn't realize I had to press enter.
Ah, okay. Descending. Okay.
God.
No.
Oh wait, no, it was 7 plus something?
Yeah,
We have to do a
it's
plus?
7 plus. It should be 7 plus your dex plus your proficiency. And
Why do
there,
I only want
I think alert also gives.
alert gives you plus 5.
Hold on.
as
So
well.
on my character sheet, I have plus 8 under initiative. Is that what I
Oh
add
yeah,
to my
so
roll?
you add that to your d20
Oh
roll.
my good god.
Oh, Lord, what the fuck?
Okay. Okay.
So you should be a 15 then instead.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
See,
Much.
okay, so you gotta deal with the newbie growing pains here.
No, this is
Oh,
good.
It's all good.
This is
Good,
good.
She's got like a face behind like her head or something. She's got 2 faces. I don't know. Something weird.
Eyes on the back of your head.
Mm,
Okay, put that on the token layer. This guy's on the token layer. Oh, jeez. And this guy. And this guy. All right. So, Bud, you are surprised you do not get to take a turn as these goblins ambush your group. They rolled a nat 20 on their stealth.
Ooh.
Oh.
So, Reyka, what do you do? It is your turn. There are 2 goblins who are currently leaping down from the left and right side of the trail.
Okay.
And one of them lands right here. The other one lands right here. And there are 3 archers that you've noticed now peeking out of the trees up along the trail.
Trying to find so I can see my weapons in my inventory, but how do I know what each one rolls?
So on your character sheet, if you go to the actions tab,
Actions. Okay. Ah, okay. I
that
was
shows
looking at
you
inventory. Okay.
your hit DC is whatever you add to your D20 to hit.
Okay, so I roll and I do add the hit DC and I roll whatever it says. So like 1d6 or 1d8.
Right, if you hit, yes.
If I hit.
Gotta
Okay.
check to see if you beat the armor class.
Yes.
Right. Is the goblin that's kitty corner to me to the left, is that too close for a bow or? Like,
Yeah,
is
so
this-
if you were to use a ranged weapon in melee with another creature, you gain disadvantage on your attack roll.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my bow to the one to the right.
Either way, no matter what, if an enemy is within 5 feet of you, they impose disadvantage because they are getting up in your space.
Oh,
You do
well, how
not-
many feet are each of these squares then?
Each square is 5 feet. So if there is any enemy adjacent to you, you have disadvantage on a ranged attack again, I believe.
Okay, so
target.
It's not adjacent.
So the one that's to the right of me then is a whole square between. So
Think of
that should be.
think of think of that guy as like as you're going to take the shot, he's like grabbing at the bow. Like he's basically getting in your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But to
Yeah,
the
the-
one up closer to the horses on the right side of the trail is far enough away, right?
He's far enough away, but the guy on your immediate left is still gonna
Oh,
try
so
and
he
get.
still affects it. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
He's still,
Yeah,
he's still
you're
getting
in
in your way.
active hand-to-hand combat
Yeah.
right now.
Okay, then I will then use my short sword.
Okay. Give me
I think I
a
could-
short sword roll.
Okay. Pretty sure I get to do this twice. Yeah, I got 2 weapon fighting.
Correct. So on your first attack, you roll your short sword, your d20 plus 6.
Plus 6, I believe it's plus 5.
Or sorry, I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. My bad. Yeah, plus 5.
So that's gonna be a 10.
Okay, against the goblin, does not hit. It holds a shield up as that sword kind of thunks right into it.
Okay, I'll try the second sword.
Yep.
That's gonna be a 12.
12, unfortunately, also does not hit. As you kind of come in from the side, it sort of thunks into the armor and just scrapes off of it.
Okay.
Anything else on your turn?
I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay. So then, Synas, you are surprised and do not get around. Niah, the same. You are surprised and do not get a turn. The goblins in melee with you guys are brandishing sort of crude scimitars, and they are going to start swinging.
Rude.
Swang it.
Start swinging. Reyka does a 15 hit.
That's against my AC?
Yes.
No, it does not.
Okay. So the goblin that had just blocked these 2 sword strikes from you kind of lashes out with a hits you back, and it just whiffs right past you. And then it is going to use Nimble Escape, and it is going to take the disengage action as a bonus on its turn.
Oh, what?
Bastard.
And it is going to sort of hop away from that sort of bad position it was in. Thava.
Okay.
Doesn't that give Reyka an attack opportunity?
Nope, because they can use disengage as a bonus action.
Oh.
Thava does a 13 hit.
No.
Okay. This crude scimitar comes swinging at you, and you just put your greatsword in the way with a clang, stopping it in its tracks. Rinn, you are surprised you do not get a turn. The archers draw down some arrows with their short bows.
Oh boy.
Let's see, they've got 6 targets to pick from, so we'll use the dice of friendship.
Archers?
Up to the north.
There's 3 archers to the north in the trees up here.
They're like
Oh,
60
I
feet
couldn't
away.
see them way up there. I guess I have to zoom this thing out.
Yeah, they're closest one to like me or Thava is like.
And they're
40
enemies?
feet.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Okay, this zoomy thing is a thing. I got it.
they are going to
So this
loose
can hurt.
some arrows. Let's see who they hit. Dice of friendship. Just going with the turn order 1 through 6. 1. Is that in range? Yep. Bud, an arrow flies towards you.
Whoop.
Does a 23 hit.
Jeez.
Oh yes, very much.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You take 2 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
That's not so bad.
Another arrow lets loose. This time it is going at Reyka. Does a that's not high. What's your AC?
16.
Yeah, that doesn't hit. Okay, that was like a 9. And the last one, this time going at Synas.
No. Choose something else.
Does a 15 hit you?
It does not.
Oh, all right. So a group of arrows come down the lane, and Bud, you take an arrow sort of to the shoulder there.
Oh.
It's glancing, but it definitely stings. Thava, you are surprised you do not get a first turn. Bud, you are the top of the turn order. What do you do?
Massacre.
Well, Bud definitely like gasps from being hit with that arrow beforehand, but let's say it like saves the horse from being hit. Like he happened to be in the way.
Sure.
So he's definitely mad that they're targeting us and the horses. So, let's see. I suppose he'll whip out his bow and do some damage. So
All right.
let me see, what range do I need to be? Well, I guess I deal with these guys like that are close by
What
first.
kind of bow do you have?
What do I have? A longbow.
You can hit everyone everywhere right now.
Oh, I see.
The longbow
Yeah,
range is quite far.
Yes. I'll just go for this guy right here.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yep. Go ahead and make an
All right.
attack roll for me.
All right. The D20, right?
D20 plus your hit DC on your
Yeah.
longbow.
That's going to be a 13.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Oh man. So yeah, he like grunts in annoyance from watching the arrow like whiz past his target.
Okay.
And I guess that's the end.
All right.
And at this point, Dre already told you.
Yes.
But I have to dip
Yep.
for about half an hour. Dre will be taking the reins of Bud. I will be back. And
Alrighty.
if y'all are still playing, so
Okay.
sorry about that.
Yep. No, you're good. You're good, bud.
Oh,
All right. Back then.
I get it. All right. Reyka, we are back to your turn. What would you like to do?
All right.
You
well, I'm
know-
gonna try to shoot.
You no longer have disadvantage on your range attacks.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shoot the. Let's see, can I select it? How do I make it?
Hold and
ping
click.
it.
Hold left click to ping. There
Oh,
you
I
go.
see.
Yep.
That guy
All right.
with my longbow.
Give me an attack roll.
12.
12 unfortunately does not hit. These guys have shields and some light armor, and it just kind of skips off his shield. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's all I can do.
Alrighty. Synas, what are you doing?
Is using a cantrip in melee range, does that have any disadvantage or anything?
Is it a ranged attack?
Only if you have to roll an attack roll.
Yeah, it is. It's 30-foot range, and yeah, it is. an attack.
Yeah.
Well, okay then. I guess I'm just gonna.
Bop him.
I think I'm gonna bop him with my dang ass.
Dang, ding, dang
scimitar.
ass.
Just the guy that's right in front of me.
Okay.
Also, just in general, I forget. Are we doing flanking rolls or anything?
In
or-
this case, for now, I'm going to go with flanking as advantage.
Okay. 14 plus 18.
18 definitely hits.
Oh, yeah, stabby time.
Stabby time. Give me some
Please be a high number.
damage.
Ooh, 7 damage? 7 slashing.
Okay, you slash out against this goblin and rake right up the front of it. You find a weak point in its armor, and blood gashes out of it as it tumbles to the ground, immediately dying.
Well, alright.
Damn.
That. I was expecting something a little hardier.
It is a 3-foot-tall goblinoid.
Yeah,
Kill a kid, man. That's fucked up.
I just killed a kid.
You killed a
Yeah, how
kid.
Killed a kid.
Wow. How does? I mean, it's a kid. It's a kid that tried to stab you. So.
I mean,
That's fair.
okay, fair. I'm gonna throw him off just the side of the map, but he is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I have any bonus actions.
Would you like to move? Do you
movement.
want to?
Yeah, I could move. We're gonna go ahead and just 5, 10, 15, 20 over to here.
Okay. That is a mostly vertical wall leading up to the edge of the trail.
Oh, I understand now. Okay.
So that sort of dirt path is a very steep edge.
Go ahead and get between. That would interrupt like a longbow shot.
No, you
What-
can kind of weave out of the way.
Okay.
When
then,
time is
I'll go
necessary.
there to hopefully blockade a little bit.
Okay. End of your turn.
Okay.
Niah.
So there is. How tall is the wall on our sides?
It's about a 10-foot climb on either side.
And that's there's nothing I can use to try and like. There's no like obvious footholds to keep up with.
No, it looks like eroded dirt. It's not really
Okay,
stable.
so they would have to climb it. Okay. Real quick. Well, that kind of derails my initial plan. So give me a second.
Mm-hmm. No worries.
Okay. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no reaching cover. I am going to zap this one with Eldritch Blast.
All right, give me some attack rolls.
20.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
2 damage.
2 damage to that goblin. All right. It kind of takes that. It's force damage, if I remember right, right?
Yes, it's force damage.
Kind of blasted right in the center of the chest, and it staggers back, kind of reels up and looks right at you and draws its bow ready to fire on you.
Okay,
Is that your turn?
that is my turn.
Alrighty, the remaining scimitar-wielding goblin is gonna go after Thava again.
Okay.
This guy's not having a good day. Does a 10 hit?
No, it does not.
No, it's not. Just smacks right into your armor, and it kind of looks up at you with like a. Oh. It's going to use its bonus action to disengage.
Okay.
It's gonna go 5, 10, 15, and 20 to try and get out of sort of that pinch, and that's going to be its turn. Rinn, what are you doing?
Okay. Can I hit these 2 goblins that are all the way out here?
Which ones?
The 2 wielding ones. For
The
some reason I
ones
couldn't-
over
there we
here?
go. Mhm.
Yeah, let me double check something to make sure they don't get any cover here.
How do you- Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and send some spells that way or whatever you're gonna do.
Okay, yeah, I want to do Firebolt. But
Okay. What's the range on Firebolt?
It is 120.
Okay, yeah.
And then I wanted to use some sorcery meta magic
Okay.
to do a twin spell.
Awesome.
And
It's a shit.
let's just do that. Let's just do that for now. It's going to cost me 1 sorcery point.
Yep.
So I'm going to aim at the 2 on the left that have those with Firebolt.
Yep, go ahead.
That's a d20. 12 plus 6, 18.
Definitely hits.
Sweet. Okay, so then this 1d8 is to each of them? Oh.
No, you're gonna roll separate attacks for each of them.
Okay. Now
So-
that I'm doing damage, I'd like to use another sorcery point.
Can you do multiple meta magics on a turn?
I can, because it specifically says that I can.
Okay.
But that's the one, yeah.
I will take your word for it.
Okay. So I'm gonna re-roll that first one.
Okay.
Spells. For another one.
Okay.
Can you,
I,
wait, that one says shocking grasp. I thought you were doing
Oh.
firebolt.
You're right. I'm a dumb. 6.
6 points of fire damage to
Okay.
that top goblin. He reels back, kind of patting out the flames on his chest, and he does not look good.
All right. And then for my second,
For my next trick,
10.
a 10 to hit
Yeah.
does not hit.
Oh no, 10 damage.
Oh no, you have to roll to hit on both. It's 2 separate attack rolls.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yes.
Okay.
Save that 10 then. Just roll good.
I rolled an 18.
You roll an 18, that hits, and with 10 damage, you basically blast a hole in the ribs of this goblin, and it just crumples with the force back into the brush and vanishes. Quite dead. Anything else on your turn?
Fire. Ha! Yeah, go ahead.
Christ.
Okay, it is the Goblin Archer's turn with Thava on deck. So seeing that, the goblins up on the edges there looking a little worried across at each other, but they still draw down. Niah, one of them's gonna fire an arrow at you.
Mm-hmm. The one I shot.
Yep, does a 9 hit.
Nope.
Nope, and the other one is also firing an arrow at you because you are actually the closest target. Does a 21 hit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
I hope so. Cool. How about you take 2 damage for me?
Okay.
Of-
Oh no, my 3 HP.
Piercing
Oh, no.
damage. Oh no.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
make more treats the next day.
All right. And they sort of shift up toward the edge here. They're not trying to run, they're just trying to... Seeing that someone just threw fire at them, they're not feeling too hot about their scenario right
I
now.
think they're feeling very hot right now.
Only one of them is. And he's dead. All right, Thava, what are you doing?
I she's looking fucking pissed, and she's walking up to this goblin that's tried to stab her like twice now.
Yep.
It's like, come here, you little shit. And then
It just
goes
looks
for
up
a
at you like,
greatsword attack. It goes for a greatsword.
go ahead and
Oh
make
my
that
God,
great sword.
This is gonna be horrifying.
18.
18
Oh, he's-
certainly hits.
He's dead.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, he's so
Rolling
dead.
damage. 13.
Holy! Wow. This goblin had 6 HP. So you overkill this thing. What direction are you slashing this from? Like vertical, kind of diagonal?
Coming down vertically, yeah.
You crunch down through 3/4 of this goblin's torso and bifurcate this thing, and it just kind of flops in a mess in front of you.
She just kind of
Very
stands
dead.
over the corpse for a moment and then starts running towards the other goblin.
At which point both of them just look at you and go, "Ah!
I think 25
We should run!
feet.
We should run!"
Actually, they're above, right, on the wall.
Yeah, it's about a 10-foot climb there.
Oh, let's see. Starting it.
It's definitely not
she's-
easy. It's very eroded, loose dirt, so I'd make you make an
That's
athletics
fine.
check to climb that.
No, I don't need to. I have a climbing speed.
You're right, you do. Never mind.
So that'll be 5, 10, 15, and then 20, 30. Yeah, 30. That's all I can really do.
Okay.
I guess I'm on top of the wall now.
Yeah.
She just climbs up the wall rather effortlessly.
Niah, you're watching this and you're just like, wow, that's fast climbing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Bud is going to fire another longbow shot. I should probably pull up his character sheet real quick.
It's a hell of a shot.
I mean, the longbow's range is 150, so
Yeah, it's stupid.
it's silly.
And I'm
He-
sure he's got that like long shot feet or whatever.
Yeah,
Sniper.
sharpshooter,
Yeah, that's a.
which,
This is also very.
yeah, I think he's gonna try for sharpshooter on this,
Yeah.
and he hits.
Oh no.
Okay, that's terrifying. So he's firing at this goblin here, as it looks like it's starting to turn to run, and you all just watch him loose this arrow with a, and it just embeds right in the center back of this goblin's skull. I don't even need to roll damage because it gives you a +10 to the damage, and that's already more than its max HP.
No, but let me see how she's overkilled by.
All right, let's see. What is it? A 1d8 plus 3. Holy baloney. Okay, so that's 13 damage.
No.
So
So more than double.
more than double, and this arrow just, and you see this goblin just drop into the brush.
Oh, he's not 10 feet right?
Oh no, they're mostly in just like thickets up there.
Oh,
And that's Bud's turn. Jesus. Reyka, it's your turn.
Okay.
There is one goblin remaining on the field.
Gonna use my longbow. I rolled a 12 plus 5, so 17.
That hits.
Okay, so now I'm gonna roll a 1d8. Pardon me while I find my d8. Found it. 6 plus 3, 9.
All right. How do you want to do this?
Oh god, don't make me tell stories.
Just tell me how you end this goblin that's trying to run away
Okay,
from you guys.
was he in the process of running away?
Yeah, he's turning shoulder to sprint away.
Okay, then as he's turning shoulder to sprint away, I line up my shot. I pull back carefully, aiming just right, and loose the arrow, and it goes. Let's see, it goes through his the back, straight through his heart out the front,
All right.
and he falls on his face.
Perfect. So this
Not very
arrow,
clever, but
expertly placed arrow, just slides right through this goblin, and you hear it and right into the brush as combat comes to a close. Let's go back to here.
sorry, I'm not good at telling colorful
No,
stories.
that's great. That was great.
Max, that was
That was
perfectly
great.
fine.
That was wonderful.
That's good.
All right. As combat comes to an end, summarily 5 dispatch goblins. The wind blows through the trees around you guys, but otherwise everything seems pretty calm again. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna get back in the damn cart.
Since Thava is up here, she's going to approach the goblin on this side, its body, and check to see if it has like anything identifiable on it, like if there's some kind of sign that it looted some people recently or something like that.
Sure, give me an investigation check.
Okay. What the hell is that? Oh, there we go. 20, nat 20.
Ooh, okay. Wow, all right, jeez. On a natural 20, this guy's got like 5 copper on him.
Yeah, well,
Honestly, the goblin isn't what you notice the most. In fact, off to the side in the thickets, you notice what looks like a walking trail that sort of leads away. And on a natural 20, you can tell there's a lot of goblin footprints in this trail. This looks like a path through the woods that the goblins use often.
She turns back to the rest of the party, standing up from the goblin's corpse, and goes, "There's a trail over here. Many goblins went this way."
Do we want to go tracking down some goblins through the woods?
I'd rather just stay on mission, honestly.
Yeah, our contract is to escort this cart. It's a good thing to note, but well,
With
I mean,
any
but
other...
these are most likely Gundren, and
yeah, I want to
Gotta
look
stay.
over.
Did
Also,
we find
let me-
evidence that it was
Yeah,
Gundren,
let me
potentially?
also say on a nat 20, you do see what looks like dragged boot trails, as if 2 individuals were dragged this way,
Okay.
and an
They-
empty map scroll.
and an empty
like-
map case in the road.
Well, let's say I would like
People.
to investigate the horses. Is there anything indicating beyond just hey, these are Neverwinter colors?
Yeah, roll
Anything that indicate that these are Gundren's crew?
an investigation check for me.
11.
It's not hard to notice. You sort of sift through the saddlebags, and you flip over one of them, and out comes spilling a small tankard, or not a tankard, a flask. And Niah, you are very familiar. This is Gundren's flask.
Never mind. Okay, well, I immediately pocket that.
Yep.
And that okay, yeah, never mind. Fuck the mission.
Yeah, we may be needing to do a detour here.
Yeah.
So, as you guys sort of, and now that you've killed these goblins, this area seems fairly safe. You could probably surmise that this is probably an ambush party, and you probably just made the road a heck of a lot safer for what you've just done. So it's probably okay to leave the cart here for now. And given the fact that these horses weren't cleared, no one else has been through here in a while. So,
They've been dead for multiple days.
Yep.
So
so to follow off this trail, I would need a marching order. It's about 1 person-ish wide.
About to say, Reyka and Bud, are you sneaky?
No, I have disadvantage to stealth.
Oh.
If,
Bud's got a +3 on.
He's got a +3.
Looking
Yeah.
at his sheet.
Let's see, what do I got going on?
I'm a little sneaky, but not great.
I got a
got a
plus
plus-
3.
I got a
plus 3.
+5,
Okay.
so I'm a little bit sneakier than everyone else.
Well, I would like a marching order. You can just arrange yourselves on this road.
So the one thing though is, while Niah is sneakier, she's not necessarily better at noticing bad
Yeah,
things.
I'm thinking about traps.
Bud, you're perceptive, aren't you?
He's pretty perceptive,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe he should go first.
He's got a +4.
Bud seems like one of the better choices, I would say. Yeah.
He's slightly sneaky and he's perceptive.
So what?
Hmm.
So Bud and lead, Niah 15, 20 feet behind Bud, and the rest of the party behind that.
Sounds about right.
Well, I will ask, are you guys trying to sneak as a group?
Yeah.
as a group, or do we want to let somebody go ahead a little bit to scout?
Yeah.
That's kind of
because-
what I was thinking. Is
Yeah,
that-
they'd need to be like
yeah.
60, 70 feet ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. fair.
Because this is like this is a trail meant for goblins. Thava doesn't fit. Synas doesn't fit.
It.
You guys are gonna be
A horse-shaped
just
hole.
head in the branches the whole time.
Okay,
Same,
fair.
honestly, with anyone over about 4'6".
Oh, hell yeah.
Bud and I scout ahead while the rest of the party follows.
I guess, yeah.
Sure, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll be ready to run in.
This is like payday all over again.
Yeah, and I kind of want to wait for Jrain to get back for this, because this is gonna be something.
How much longer until he's
What
back?
about 10-15 minutes?
We can go take a break. I need to get some food anyways,
Okay.
so we can go take a quick break.
Go
And then
fucking
we're
long.
basically gonna go through this little bit, and then we're gonna end the session.
Yeah,
All
fair.
right.
So, but yeah, congratulations on not dying to a goblin ambush.
Did anyone actually take damage? I know there was temporary HP.
I know real damage.
Did Thava? Did you take damage?
Yes, I did. Took 3 damage.
I believe
Oh,
Bud.
no.
Did Bud have temporary HP?
No,
Then he
didn't.
also took 2 damage.
Thava,
Melee
at this point, it,
should have had. the damage.
that's fine.
But berries.
Yeah. At this point,
Nice.
Thava had snapped off the arrow that was in her shoulder. And,
She's a beast.
yeah.
She's a brick. Do-do-do.
She is.
Diddle-doo-doo-doo.
She's a brick shit house. It's
Just
true.
gonna go look over the art channel again.
You guys are probably fine for now then. I won't.
Oh yeah, hell no.
But we'll be back in like 10 or so minutes from now. do that. Okay, and let's switch it up the music a little bit here. Back to ominous.
We were thinking, since you and I are the only sneaky ones, that you and I would be scouting ahead while the party follows.
That's-
Troy being sneaky up there.
Yeah, that's to you, bud. How do you feel about taking point?
Oh. Wait, so why would I be taking point?
So everyone is going to, basically the group is deciding to follow this trail off into the woods, potentially to wherever Gundren and his knight escort got taken, by the looks of it.
I feel like, as a little bit of like story flavor, I don't think Bud would probably want to do that. So
Okay.
I think he comes from a background where he has never really had to kill anybody before. So even if it's goblins, he would be.
Oh,
You know.
so how is he feeling about shooting a goblin through the skull?
I imagine he would have been like riled up like in combat because how intense everything was. But once everything is like calmed down, like he'd just be like quiet and just look uncomfortable and ask somebody else to lead.
Right. And Del, I'm assuming you called out that Thava, you called out that you found the trail?
Yes, correct. All of the stuff I'd said. Yeah.
Okay. Niah is definitely gonna be standing up with the flask in hand, pointing this like this is Gundren's.
Oh yeah, I think he'd also want someone else to do it because he'd be even now more uncomfortable knowing that Gundren is not okay. I'm worried.
Okay.
Well, I saw 2 boot tracks, so it
Two
would,
boot tracks,
it
2
would make
horses.
sense.
We have to look. We have to try this.
I agree.
At this point, Niah is already walking up to the trailhead.
So go ahead and assemble a marching order. The path for your reference, bud, is barely a goblin wide. So it's pretty much you guys are just digging your way through bushes the whole time in a single file line.
Now, the real question is do I scout ahead or do we all go as a group?
It's up to you guys.
I feel like if Bud does not want to scout ahead, it's probably safer to stay as a group.
Okay, we will not have the drop on anything.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the 2 of you are much more observant than Niah is. Especially Reyka.
I can either be near the front to help look for stuff since I've got a +6 for perception, or I can hang out kind of near the back to 1, watch our backs, and also 2, make sure Bud's okay.
Yeah, they're... So what, Reyka in the front?
Sure, I could be in the front. I got a +6 to perception as well.
Yeah, so Reyka in the front, Thava in the middle to reinforce whoever gets attacked. And protect
Sure.
Rinn, and then
Sure, why not?
Synas and Bud in the rear to... Okay, so tight formation.
So just go ahead and arrange yourselves in whatever order, just so I have my own reference.
Reyka, how about you go ahead of me? Because you have the higher perception.
So it is...
Yeah, I think I've got a higher AC than Bud. So yeah, I'll go absolute last.
Reyka, Niah, Rinn, Thava, Bud, and Synas. Okay. So as you guys begin stalking along this trail, it just leads off. Like, it goes and it keeps going. As you follow it, you're kind of walking along for 10, 15 minutes. You're heading in a generally southwestern direction. I'll take you back to the area map here. So from the Tribor Trail here, let me get Bud off of here real quick. You guys are heading sort of in this direction. Kind of towards Phandalin on this map, but this whole area is just wild overgrowth and hidden hill crags and quite hard to traverse. So Reyka's in the front. Reyka, are you... What are you doing? Are you...
Where we were, because my map was like looking at the upper portion and I didn't see
Oh.
the tank.
Yeah, so... Sorry, I should have done a focusing ping. You guys are heading basically along this kind of direction. Not
Okay,
directly to
thank
there,
you.
but you're heading sort of southwestish.
Okay, thanks.
Reyka, you're in the lead. Do you want to keep an eye out for traps? Do you want to... You just keeping an eye on what's going on ahead of you guys?
Yeah, generic eye for anything awry, I guess.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
19 plus 6, 25.
Alrighty. So as you guys are cruising along, about 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes. Reyka, you suddenly see a patch of sort of fallen leaves and tussled up grass that looks a little bit amiss. And as you kind of stare a little closer, you realize that it looks like there's a rope snare trap in the middle of the path here, just ahead of you. And pointing it out, pretty easy. You can let everyone know that it's there and that they can avoid it.
Which I do. Hey guys, watch out ahead. Looks like there's a rope trap up here.
All right.
You guys sort of tiptoe around it with Reyka's observant pointing out. Keep heading along the trail. Another 10 minutes goes by. This trail just seems like it keeps going and winding. And some of you are just utterly covered in, like, thistles and leaves or getting stuck in armor. It's a really unpleasant hike. After about another 15 minutes goes by, so you guys have been cruising along for, like, half an hour at this point. Another thing catches your eye, Reyka. There appears to be a very strangely, specifically placed rectangle of leaves just in the middle of this path, covering the entire path.
Perhaps this is a message?
You can go try and take a look.
Yeah, I'd like to, would that be an investigate?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Can I assist?
8 plus 1 is 9.
Yeah, go ahead and assist, Niah.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll at advantage, Reyka.
Uh,
Or, tell me how you're assisting. You can roll separately or give advantage.
well, I guess real quick, do you have proficiency with investigation?
I have a plus 1.
How about I roll?
Yeah, you go ahead and roll then. Take a separate roll if you want.
Where is my character sheet? Ah, excellent. 9.
Okay.
Right on the same wavelength.
You're both looking at this, and Reyka, you're kind of kneeling down a little bit and kind of touching it. And Niah goes like leaning like over you, trying to also take a look, and she sort of bumps you, and you kind of lean forward a bit too much, and the leaves kind of give way to a 10-foot pit suddenly.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Both of us, or which one?
Just Reyka.
Okay. So that, okay.
So on your character sheet.
I got a 5.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, you fall 10 feet down, kind of tumbling ass over tea kettle. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you land hard against the dirt down there. But
Okay.
you have revealed there is a giant hole in the ground. A pitfall trap. Thanks to Niah's assistance, you discover the trap, maybe not in the way that you wanted to. You can climb back out, it's pretty easy, and with it revealed, everyone can sort of avoid it. It's no problem.
So Niah just kind of goes sheepish, grinning, finger guns. Hey, there's a hole there.
God.
Reyka just stands up in the hole and brushes off the leaves and grumbles to herself.
So As you climb out of the hole and everyone slowly kind of picks their way around it on the edges to not slip in as well, you guys continue along. The rest of this walk, or more hike, I guess, is uneventful. It seems like the goblins only laid 2 traps to try and deter people, which in the grand scheme of trapping is not a lot.
I mean, 50%, right?
Yeah, fair. Fair. It's about another hour goes by. You guys hike for like an hour and a half following this trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes for miles. And you guys are not going super fast because you are having to push through brush that's just encroaching on this space.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine Synas's like hair is getting caught?
Oh,
in the
man.
twig?
Oh,
It al-
everything. We're gonna
it
have to
already
spend 3
didn't
hours
look
picking
great.
the burrs out of his hair.
He's not gonna do it himself, so, you know.
He does not care.
Bud just like,
Oh no.
this is what he trained for.
Leprechaun.
Pet the cat. Fix the cat.
Oh shit! You're right.
Oh no.
So as you guys are proceeding along
What
this
did I
way,
say?
as you guys are proceeding along, you eventually break out of this thicket. Finally, a break in the trail occurs. And I'm going to take you to another map real quick.
Ooh, spooky. Side quest.
I really hope this works and doesn't show you things you're not supposed to see.
Okay, everybody, look at it.
Oh shit, this is the final battle with Tiamat.
Okay, you
Oh,
guys,
Tia River.
hold on, you guys are down here.
Ooh.
You guys emerge from the thicket covered in leaves and just everything. But you are finally out of the thick of it.
The thick of it.
thick of it.
Yeah, there it is.
What?
So, as you come out here, you see ahead of you this large hillscape with a crudely carved entranceway in the front of it ahead of you. The thicket and tree brush on either side of you here is far too thick to see through, and a gentle stream rolls out of the mouth of this cave. A narrow, dry path leads into the cave on the right-hand side of the stream. And that is sort of what you see here. And I think this is a good spot to leave it off for today.
Oh,
Ah,
that is.
That's fair. Okay.
So, thank you guys for hanging out and entertaining my desire to be a DM and
Yeah,
joining
that
a
was fun.
campaign and stuff.
That was
Hopefully,
great.
yeah.
I enjoyed myself.
Hopefully that's a good first session.
Yeah.
Right.
You're very well articulated, and I love how you play.
I mean, 2
Various
pranks went off,
characters.
so.
Yeah, you're already happy. Yeah, it's fair. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys. And I suppose we will see
you.
one another in 2 weeks from now if all goes well.
All right.
Right.
Sounds good. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
All
Bye.
right, have a good one.
And there goes the do-do-dums. Thanks for watching the D&D. We'll continue this another day. Have a good one.